Ratcheting up the pressure on Hamas. Israeli airstrikes hit several hundred targets in Gaza overnight. The aerial assault aimed at paving the way for a ground offensive by Israeli troops as the Jewish state vows to obliterate the terrorists. And President Biden spent the weekend conferring with world leaders about the Israeli-Hamas war.
In addition to receiving briefings from his national security team, the president worked the phones. The White House said he spoke again with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. He then held a conference call with his counterparts in Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and the UK. Mr. Biden also discussed the developments in Israel and Gaza with Pope Francis.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. And although only a trickle at first, humanitarian aid deliveries have begun in Gaza, bringing food, water, and medicines to Palestinian civilians. Democratic Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey scheduled to return to a federal court in Manhattan today. He'll answer a conspiracy charge.
Menendez is accused of acting as an agent of the Egyptian government, even as he chaired the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, allegedly passing information to the Egyptians about the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, ghostwriting a letter on Egypt's behalf intended to influence fellow senators, and urging the U.S. State Department to get more involved in the international negotiations to block a dam project Egypt opposed. The Democrat stepped down from his powerful post after he was charged last month. Prosecutors say Menendez and his wife accepted bribes of cash, gold bars, and a luxury car over the past 5 years. I'm Donna Water.
Family, friends, and some of Michigan's top elected officials have paid their respects to Detroit Synagogue President Samantha Wall, who was fatally stabbed at her home. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures down 151 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
An Australian government report finds that women can expect to earn $600,000 less than men over their working lives.
1 in 3 Australian men don't think gender inequality exists, but a government task force looking into pay differences between men and women concluded that there's a huge wage imbalance between the two sexes. Australian women earn even less than men if they become mothers, because the burden of parenthood often falls mostly on their shoulders, making it harder to fit in work. To address the wage difference, the task force has recommended improved childcare provision, more flexible working and longer paid parental leave.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. The watchdog for U.S. assistance to Afghanistan warns that the Taliban is benefiting from international aid through fraudulent non-governmental groups. The Taliban exerting greater control over national and international NGOs. News and analysis at townhall.com. Sounds like we haven't seen the end of interest rate hikes aimed at slowing the U.S. economy.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says inflation remains too high and that bringing it down to the Fed's target level will likely require a slower growing economy and job market. Powell notes inflation has cooled significantly from 1 year ago, but he cautions it's not yet clear whether inflation is on a steady path back to the Fed's 2% target. Powell adds a few months of good data are only the beginning. Jason Walker reporting.
It's a big deal in the energy sector. Chevron buying Hess for $53 billion. The biggest U.S. oil companies used a recent windfall in profits to buy up smaller competitors. The Chevron-Hess deal comes on the heels of Exxon's agreement to acquire Pioneer Natural Resources for roughly $60 billion. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to it. Hope all of you had a great weekend.
Oh yeah,
busy weekend.
Very.
Lots of stuff going on.
It was a whole lot of shaking going on.
Yeah, you were at Honda on Saturday. How were things there?
It was packed. We brought over, and I was talking to Thomas about this beforehand. They were expecting 400, so we brought about 400 to 450 hot dogs. We were out 45 minutes before we were done.
Wow.
It was packed.
Wow. So
Sea of Humanity, lots of people coming through with some great costumes. I'm optimistic about Halloween this year because there's some great costumery that I've been seeing.
Yeah? What was some of your ones?
I saw, several Sonic the Hedgehogs. I saw an Ariel out there. There was one, and I'm a little mad because it's sort of like in line with my costume, but somebody was riding a pterodactyl, an inflatable pterodactyl. It was really cool.
Was it a pterodactyl or was it like... It
was a big purple dinosaur, flying dinosaur, so I assume it's a pterodactyl.
Well, I didn't know maybe if it was like that Avatar...
No.
Bird thing.
It was
they fly around in Avatar.
It was bright purple.
Okay.
Clearly like a pterodactyl or pterodactyl adjacent. I did see one lady that was wearing a shirt that just said 90s.
Nice.
The 90s. So I'm like, oh, she's going as the 90s. I like that. Yeah.
She's like, this is what I wear on Saturdays.
It's a black shirt that just said the 90s. I was like, that's pretty good. I'm sort of in panic mode, though.
Yeah?
Because...
On costuming?
Yes. Not so much for myself,
but for
daughter.
the children? Okay.
Well, my son's is ordered.
Okay.
My daughter's is going to require a little bit of DIY, and I haven't actually started it yet. And I'm really worried. This is not going to be a reference that you'll necessarily get, but I'm really worried that it's going to turn out like Lisa's Florida costume in The Simpsons. Homer made it just says Florida, made out of couch cushions, badly sewn together. I think he just taped an orange to it to make it signify Florida. Yeah, I'm worried that it's not going to come out the way I've been envisioning it in my head.
Well, as long as she'll probably dig it though, regardless.
You think that. you think
Let her
that.
help create, then she'll like it even more.
It's just I have a lot of concepts in my head to how I'm going to make it work, but it's like it's more like, can I put those concepts into practice?
Yeah, you need the inner MacGyver.
Mm-hmm. I do.
You need to bring out your inner MacGyver. Well, of course, we had Art in the Park in Artesia this weekend. I saw a lot of pictures from there, too. So it was a busy weekend football. Congratulations. Coyotes got the win.
Yep.
On Friday. Artesia defeated Goddard in the Bulldog Bowl Friday night as well, too, which sets up one more big weekend of district play.
That's right.
Of course, got the big battle in the Wool Bowl this Friday night.
Battle for Roswell. It's going down Friday.
Coyotes, Rockets square off in the Wool Bowl. We'll have that for you on our network of stations. The Roswell point of view right here on 106.5. The Goddard point of view on 106.1 FM Fiero. Video with both points of view, ksvptv.com Friday night for you. So we'll have all of that.
You errant Bulldogs fans, they're going to be taking on Mayfield this Friday night as well, home at the Bulldog Bowl.
Yes, exactly. So we'll have that game for you, too. So one more big, and then after that, it's playoff
District's
time.
over, and it's all down to the playoffs.
And hopefully,
I'm pretty sure that we're going to score the first round bye across the board.
I think, hopefully. Well, I know 2 for sure, and then we're hoping the third one stays in there at the top 4. There,
See, but that's why I worry, because if Goddard got the L last week and they get the L this week, does that knock them down to 4th, or would that keep them in 3rd? Because it still keeps Roswell and Artesia in 1 and 2.
Well, it depends too on the others and how they have the.
At this point, I'm pretty sure it's the top 4 are Roswell, Artesia, Goddard, and Mayfield.
And I've heard scenarios where it could knock them down to 5th, maybe 2. So I don't know. I'm not the expert there. We'll have to. So we'll just cross our fingers. We get a 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, 4, or something, because the top 4 get a first round bye.
Right.
So that's what we're crossing fingers,
pulling for, and
hoping for here. But we got one more week of games to get through first, which will definitely, cement what we're talking about here. I had a weekend of honey. Well, I was mad yesterday. Yesterday was just a day of mad, and it was because of football. Not even because my team lost. Okay. That part, I was way mad before that. I was mad because I didn't get to see it.
Oh.
And why? I don't know why. I don't know why.
Was it blocked out on your...
Yes.
See, that's
where I'm mad. I'm absolutely irate with YouTube Sunday
It wasn't
Ticket.
A local game, was it?
It was not.
Yeah.
They were not showing it on our local Fox. They were not showing it on our local CBS affiliate. And I go to my Sunday Ticket, and they said the Commanders-Giants game was blacked out in my area. And I'm like, why is it blacked out in my area? There's no reason for it to be blacked out in my area. So I didn't get to see my team lose yesterday.
Well, that's BS.
And I wanted to.
YouTube better get your stuff together. As much money as
I spent $400 to not watch my team on Sunday. So I'm done with YouTube TV. I'm already on the hook, so I paid him for this year. So, but this will be the last year I pay for this thing. I'm not giving. I can.
That's crazy.
I can keep my $400 and not watch them on Saturdays already.
You'd be like, I could own a PS5. Or I could have a season of football. I mean, they really need to get it in check, because what they think is worth $400, they're not delivering $400 worth of value.
It's like me going to the movie theater and saying, I want to see Star Wars, and I sit down and watch Star Wars. It says Star Wars is blacked out in your area. Sorry, you can't watch Star Wars. Right. But I already paid to watch Star Wars. Sorry, it's blacked out.
Blacked out.
Really? Why is it blacked out? Because, the sea of Commanders and Giants fans here in Roswell, New Mexico.
I can't help but feel like it's blocked out because of the Schwartz.
All I know is YouTube, the Sunday Ticket on YouTube is garbage, hot garbage. And I'll say it from the highest mountaintop right now.
Wet garbage.
It was so mad. So people are like, oh man, sorry about the Commanders. Like, I'm more mad I didn't get to see it. I was already mad before I got to the point that they stunk. The fact that they stunk yesterday, from what I hear, allegedly, I didn't see it. But based on the score and it was the Giants, there's a whole lot to be mad about. I just didn't get to see it. So.
I started and didn't finish a movie yesterday called, I think it was called Oculus.
Oculus.
Yeah. It's all about a haunted mirror. Okay. And it was put out by WWE Films, of all companies. It was actually really good for the parts that I saw. I just had to leave before I got to see the end. But 2013, kind of a horror movie. Basically, this mirror is responsible for causing people to go psychotic and kill themselves.
Does that have anything to do with wrestling?
Nothing at all. I was like, the whole time I'm saying, like, okay, is there going to be like an Aaron Batista in the wild or something? I was looking for like a Becky Lynch or something. Nothing.
Steve Austin going to come out of something?
All just like unknown actors. But for some reason, Vinnie Mac had his stamp of approval on the doggone thing.
All right.
But it was good for what it was.
WWE side project.
I didn't get to see the end, but then I heard what happened in the end. I was actually kind of glad I didn't get to see the end.
It was all a big shoot.
Yeah, I got worked.
By the way, have you seen the commercials for Paramount Plus has got a new Taylor Sheridan series that's about to premiere, and it's called Bass Reeves. It's about a lawman, and basically it's based off a true guy, which I didn't realize.
Really?
Yeah, it's about a black lawman and how he goes and kicks butt as a lawman. But he's a real guy, and it's true story and everything. I mean, they probably embellished the stories for
based on true events.
Billy the Kid-like thing, but he was a real lawman and a real. It was pretty. I was like, oh dang, I didn't. I was starting to. And the only reason I stumbled upon that because there's an X or Twitter page that I follow called like Historic Vids and they talk about kind of obscure history stuff. And they had a whole thing about him, and I was like, oh, and then I realized this is the guy that they're doing the TV show on Paramount Plus about. I think it premieres like in November here, but it looks pretty good.
Bass, what was it?
Bass Reeves.
Bass Reeves.
Yeah.
Because all I thought when you said that
I think it's called like Lawman Bass Reeves or something
all I
like
kept
that.
thinking when you said that was Baz Luhrmann.
Oh.
But that he's the Broadway director, not not him.
Two different guys.
No. Not Falsey. No, not that guy, no.
But looks pretty good. So I'm kind of excited to see that when it pops up here.
Be interested. Taylor Sheridan really has a style. He has a very specific style, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's pretty much, if you want original content on Paramount Plus, it's his.
It's Taylor Sheridan.
Pretty much, he's got all the shows.
And he's got, from what I heard, there's a new season of the 1882 or whatever coming out. And then there's also another one, it's like 1940 something.
Yeah. Yeah, those are next in the pipeline. Season 2 of 1883.
Right.
Which is that the first one?
No, that was Yellowstone was the first.
No, I mean of the spinoffs.
I want to say the first one was the 19.
No, the first one was the older one. They start with the earlier date.
Are you sure? I'm
and
pretty
then
sure
the
18 was the second one.
No, that was the first one,
Okay.
and then 1922 is the second one, or whatever that one was. The first one, 1883, was the one with the singer. I can't remember
not Dwight
his
Yoakam,
name.
But
Not Clint Black.
Tim
McGraw.
McGraw.
Thank you. Yeah, Faith Hill's in it too, I think, and all that. Yeah, that's that one. And then 1922 is the Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren one, which I liked better.
Yeah,
that's a better one.
I personally like the 1880.
And that one is the season 2 for. I think that's when they're making the season 2 because 1883 kind of ended. And 1922 the sun hasn't come in yet from war and all that, so that's the one that's getting the next season,
right?
And then they're making the new one, which I think is 1940 something,
yeah.
And I think that's the one that's allegedly has Kurt Russell in it in that series.
Okay,
so, and I think McConaughey's showing up in one of these too.
Probably,
yeah, I think the McConaughey's name's in one of them too, but. Also, Taylor Sheridan, if you watch Paramount Plus, he does the, now the name of it just shot right out of my head. The one with Sylvester Stallone. Where he's the mafia
Tulsa
guy.
King.
Tulsa King. Thank you. That's Taylor Sheridan.
Which, props for making Sylvester Stallone still look like a badass. I mean, how you pull that off?
Have you watched that series?
It's pretty cool, yeah.
I like it.
It's pretty good, yeah.
If you have Amazon Prime... And there's that special ops show that has Morgan Freeman in a bit part and Nicole Kidman.
I watched some of those. It's like Angel something.
Yeah, it's one about the special ops team, and they go in and that one's Taylor Sheridan too. I'm missing one. There's another one in there too, I think. But yeah, his new one's that Bass Reeves one that's ready to come out. Looks pretty good. So I'm assuming it was made long before the strikes, the writer strikes and the actor strikes and all the other strikes.
Wind River, 1923. Special Ops Lioness, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one, Lioness.
Hell or High Water, Tulsa King. What's Wind River?
I don't know that one.
It's a movie from 2017.
Ah. So that was before
Or
at the beginning of Yellowstone fame, I'm thinking.
All the real ones know 2017 Taylor Sheridan.
They're the Nirvana Bleach fans.
There you go. I only like B-sides.
Yeah,
I had to explain to somebody what a B-side was the other day.
Oh, well, you never grew up with...
you
never grew up buying
B-side? I'm like, back in the day, a tape or a record would have a flip side with more songs, and usually those were the lesser-known songs, except for like one or two right at the beginning.
One of my favorite Anthrax albums was Attack of the Killer Bees, and it was kind of a B-side greatest hits. And it had a couple versions of I'm the Man. It had that song they did about Judge Dredd. They had their Wipeout on it. It had a couple of good songs. It was like a... Oh, it's also the one that had Bring the Noise.
Bring the Noise? I was just going to ask, is that with Bring the Noise?
That's
yeah.
when they had Bring the Noise on.
Was it not DMX?
Run DMC.
Run DMC, yeah. Yep. DMX, that would have been a whole different
Yeah, that's when they had Bring the Noise.
There you go.
Yeah, that was Attack of the Killer Beast.
So I didn't only know that song, but that song was like burned into my head because we had it was a WWE video game that was on the GameCube back in the day.
Okay.
And the soundtrack only had like 6 songs, and that was one of them.
Okay.
So it would play over and over and over again. Bring the noise. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That kind of like that off that, but it didn't like match the beat. It always bugged me.
Yeah, well, it was Anthrax and Run DMC. It was that whole, Which, by the way, they did it before Aerosmith did it.
Did they?
Yes.
Because I thought that
Walk This Way came after I'm the Man.
After I'm the Man, but what about Bring the Noise?
Oh, Bring the Noise. Bring the Noise I don't know about. You know what? That might be the other way. But I'm the Man predates.
Bring the Noise spelled with a Y for some reason.
That's because,
Well, it was to be hipper.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's not it. That's an MIA song. Bring the Noise.
When that came out, like 88?
Public Enemy. Oh, it was Public Enemy.
Oh, Public Enemy.
Anthrax,
I'm sorry, not
yeah.
Run DMC. That was my fault.
That would be 91.
91.
So, yeah, that has to be after Aerosmith and DMC.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. That
but
was
I'm the
80s.
Man was like 84, 83, the original. They've had like 4 versions of it.
Oh, probably, yeah.
The original, really rough version of it is, like, I literally think they just did it jamming as a song on a stage one night, and it turned into a thing. I think that's what happened.
So we'll try this out and see what happens. Nice.
Because if you listen to other Anthrax songs, it's not the same. Like,
well, they always had that ability to have a different style.
Yeah, but they
weren't ever fully like
if
metal.
you said what's pure Anthrax, they have a certain. It's that
87.
The I'm the Man.
87.
Okay, that was probably the first time it came up on an album.
Right.
I think it's been long out before that. So.
Meanwhile, DMC's Walk This Way and Aerosmith was
5, 6.
Oh, let's find out. I'm trying to find it. It's not popping up with a date. Doggone it.
I'm gonna say 86, 87ish.
That says 2086.
86. Okay.
So that was right around that same time.
Yeah.
Rap rock was really big in the late 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then again in the late 90s.
Well, and that's when and really right before that is when Aerosmith was kind of having their resurgence. Like they were, because they kind of fell off there in the 70s and everything. But when that around 84, 85, they got really big again. And then 86, they kind of carried over and stuff. But Loving an Elevator and all that stuff got them back into it again. That was around 85. So, yeah. I guess no guests are here yet. Huh? We see any guests? No. Okay. Let me give you the rundown for the show today.
The Run DMC down.
We're very arty today, very artistic.
Artsy fartsy.
Yes. This hour we'll have the folks from Boys and Girls Club join us to give us an update, probably talking Halloween, Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have Tammy Alvarez. Of course, you probably know her from Main Street Arts, Fine Arts League. Well, she's got a cool charity event she's been really working on for several months now, and she's having local folks like myself and others painting, and they're doing stuff raising money for charity. She has a cool thing. So we're going to talk about that with her in the 8 o'clock hour. And then sticking with the artist Greg Birch is going to join us, who he's got a few events and things he's got going on he wants to share with us. And he's also getting involved with Tammy's charity event, too. So it's kind of a synergy.
Doesn't that bug you, though? Because your piece is going to stand next to Greg Birch's piece.
Well, y'all should
This drawn by 5-year-old Mike Winters.
Well, yeah. Well,
are they going to let you finger paint?
Well, Wednesday I'm going to paint.
If you can make a thumb rainbow, that'd be great.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a Bob Ross guy. I kind of want to go Bob Ross-like. I'm a Bob Ross. Give me some spatulas and see if I can make,
Not even using brushes. You're just using, like, fan blades.
Yeah, I want to make some rivers and mountains and happy trees.
I just want to do that thing that Jackson Pollock or whoever did that where you flick the white paint at the thing and you're like, ooh, stars. Yeah, like that right there. Yeah. Stars. Yeah.
Something like that.
Jackson Pollock is in my opinion, and this is a hot take, Jackson Pollock's a sham. Anybody who looks at a Jackson Pollock piece and sees meaning, you're full of it. That's the Emperor's New Clothes of the painter world. There's no consistency to your lines or anything.
And I'm kind of like that in a lot. I mean, like, Picasso for that matter. And like, people are like, "Oh, it's so avant-garde." I'm like, "It looks like a guy who can't draw people right."
Even like Cubism or like the Picasso style of even that takes like artistic, artistic ability.
I can appreciate art in the way I don't have the knowledge.
Whenever I'm drawing, like doodling a cartoon character, I can't even make the eyes the same size. Yeah. I mean, you can't expect consistency out of this cat.
Right.
I don't bring that to the table.
Well, and it's a whole different world with because like Van Gogh, in his day, he wasn't really famous or he was poor and all, you know what I mean? But obviously his work has lasted, hundreds of years and so that's something to be said there. But when you think of how we know Van Gogh and think of, wow, he's famous, and we all probably think of he lived this amazing life, and he didn't. He was kind of obscure, poor, dealt with some mental health, love. I mean, we've heard about the ear thing, which, by the way, is only the tip. He didn't chop off his whole ear like most people think. But anyway,
I just thought you meant that was the tip of his mental illness. I was like, that's just the start of it.
Right.
You want to know what else he chopped off.
But, it's just a lot of people don't realize, artists, for the most part, their heyday was, after they're dead. But, so we're talking a lot of art today, and and Greg is way better in art. So, yes, I hope they don't put mine next to his, like, wow, look at this. Aw. And then waiting for, like, it was done by a 2-year-old, and it's like, that's a 50-year-old man who did that.
That man served in the military.
So we'll see. So I got to pick a charity, but I'm not sure I'm doing him a favor, to be honest. So we'll see. All right, it is 7:26. Let's do this. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look good today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the afternoon high. Should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, our low dropping to about 60 and maybe an isolated shower. And then we get some changes on Tuesday with a low pressure system moving across the southwestern states. Showers and a few thunderstorms will be possible. Our high going up to about 80. Cooler with a few showers Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 60 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 80% with winds out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today, mid-80s. 84 officially for a high. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour this morning, 10 to 15 for this afternoon. For tonight, partly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 56 degrees. South winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. For you Tuesday, we're looking at, we were having better chances of rain. When I was looking last week, we were looking at like 40% chances of rain for like Monday night, Tuesday, but they've dissipated that some. We are looking at a 20% chance of showers for Tuesday. Now they're saying for the afternoon, expect some patchy fog and stuff in the morning, and then a chance at rain for the afternoon. Partly cloudy otherwise, highs only near 80, 79 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 56. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 30% chance for afternoon showers. Actually, they're saying after 7, and then chances pretty much for the day here on Wednesday. Partly cloudy, high of 77 Wednesday with winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance at rain showers for Thursday evening. Looks like partly cloudy skies, otherwise with an overnight low of 52. For Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 82. Friday, sunny and 82. And then the weekend, sunny and 82 on Saturday, sunny and 75 for your Sunday. All right, it is 7:29. We're going to take about a 3.5, 4-minute break. We get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten. If we haven't heard from our guests, I'm going to go and see if we can pick an interview from last week to run here in just a few. We'll be back on the other side and talk about it either way. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A big October run with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, yearlings, bred cows, and heifers. We expect to sell 2,400 head. Break it down like this: 300, 350 weight cows and bulls, 225, 250 pairs bred cows, 1,650, 1,700 calves and yearlings. Today's sale include 32 Holstein cows off one dairy, 25 to 30 cow-calf pairs, 73 bred heifers, D-Square Ranch Corona, X-quality black and red heifers bred to low birth weight Angus cross bulls, nice set of bred heifers, 50 bred cows, excellent quality black white face, red white face English crossbred cows bred to Angus bulls, 7 to 9 years old. 35 excellent black white face Angus cross cows bred to Angus bulls to be pregged 5 to 8 years old. 88 calves, Mr. David Gable, Roe Mesa, New Mexico. X-quality black white face Charolais crossbred calves, Cattle Master 5-7 weight, Brandon, medium condition. 350, 500 pounds, 49 steer yearlings, Bruton Ranch, San Antonio, New Mexico. X-quality Charolais crossbred yearlings, medium condition, right off grass, 700,000 pounds. 163 calves, Maley Land and Cattle Company, Carlsbad. Excellent quality black white face, red white face English crossbred calves, Bow Shield Gold 7 weight. 575 pounds, 772 calves. Three Rivers Cattle Company at Tularosa, New Mexico. Reputation quality Angus calves, Bow Shield Gold 1 shot 7 weight, 550 pounds. 45 calves and light yearlings, Miss Joyce Halderman, Encino, New Mexico. X-quality Charolais crossbred, shots at Brandon, 650 pounds. 75 calves, LS Cattle Company here at Corona. X-quality black white face Angus cross calves, 2 rounds Bow Shield Gold 7 weight, 450 pounds. 55 calves off the same ranch, cattle weaned 30 days, 2 rounds of shots, 450 pounds. 52 calves, Mr. Joe Jackson here north of Roswell. Reputation quality black white face Angus crosses, Bow Shield Gold 8 way, 450, 600 pounds. And 40 calves, Mr. Skylar Pierce here north of Roswell. Excellent quality black white face Angus cross calves, Bow Shield Gold Covex and 8, 450, 600 pounds. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 10:30 to 11. Be selling calves and yearlings about 12:30 to 1. We expect to sell 2,400 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on, with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Honey, read this. Seems Councilman Barry Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:35 here. Since I haven't seen our guest, what I've got in its place. On Wednesday in the 8 o'clock hour, we had Drew Garnett join us from the Chaves County Extension Office, talking about a couple events and things they've got going on with the Extension Office through Ag side, through the Home Ec side, and everything else, and 4-H side. So here is our interview with Drew Garnett from the Chaves County Extension Office from last week. Enjoy. It is 8:44. Joining us in the studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension. I did. Good morning. It is 44 minutes after 8 o'clock. I snickered a lot of things like that, but I'm 50, but I have a brain of a 7-year-old. That's just what it is. Exactly. You know, what's life if you can't have a good fart joke every now and then?
Every now and then.
Exactly. It is 8:44. Joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Drew Garnett back with us. First off, you look pretty well rested and everything. I guess you survived the fair.
I did. We survived the fair. It went really well. Really had kids from all over the state showing animals. It was a wonderful time. And we appreciate everybody that came and supported the 4-H youth that were serving ice cream in the ice cream parlor.
That is my favorite building in the fair. It's the one I hurt myself the most in because, and just like, no cone today, but I will take a shake.
Yeah. And it's all a good cause. I mean, those kids learn how to serve, how to wait on somebody, and
here's the thing:
it
wasn't crazy hot last week. Mm-hmm. It was like perfect weather.
Oh my gosh, wasn't it?
And so you could actually like walk around without the ice cream cone a pile of goo by the time you got out of the ice cream stand. You know what I mean? You didn't have to do the work like right away.
No, you were able to finish it. On your own time.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy it.
So please, I hope everyone's at least made one or two trips while they're out there to the ice cream. That's like there's two buildings I always go into every time. That education building to see the trains and the pumpkins and all the projects.
Yes.
And the ice cream building because there's ice cream in there. But I'm glad that they had another successful year and probably raised a lot of money to keep the clubs and the programs going for another year.
That goes a long ways towards helping our clubs send youth to different events throughout the state. So a lot of the state events that go on across, up into Raton, into Las Cruces, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, we send these youth all over the place for different projects and different events, and that money goes a long ways for that.
So are they like known for their ice cream? Like when you go to like other county fairs and things, or like the state fair, do they look like those 4-H kids from down Chaves County? they sure like their ice cream.
I don't know if that's what they talk about, but I like to think so. I like to think that they do. I like to think we're famous for it. But
we got cows. Why would we not have ice cream?
I know. Well, we had butter pecan, so you're supporting the dairy industry here and the pecan industry. So
I
it's
smell
a
ice
win-win.
cream. Yeah, when you're growing nuts and dairy, then what do? You make ice cream. Of course.
It.
Silly goose, but I'm glad it was a big success.
It was.
Here.
Really
now the thing is, the extension office actually gets busier now. I mean, now we're down with fair season, but the fall with of course Christmas and the holidays and things like that. Actually, more events actually start showing up on the calendar through extension office this time.
And so this is still a busy time. And so we just transition into the next thing. Is really what we do. And so right now actually is the new year for 4-H.
Yes.
So if you are interested in signing up for 4-H, now is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And really get a start on it. We're starting our shooting sports program back up. Starts now.
And then
we have our competitions in the spring.
Those kids have it's really like and they're pretty good. The kids they go compete nationally and win these awards and things. And so we've had a opportunity to interview some of those kids, but it's really a cohesive, fun group of kids that they're all buddies, they're all friends, and so if you're looking for activities that not only show kids
safety, responsibility, camaraderie,
but skills that
social skills. I mean, there is so much stuff that really goes into it.
People don't realize.
If you're interested in shooting sports, if your children are interested in shooting sports, this is a really safe and great environment for them to learn those skills and be a part of that. And so it really is a great program that we offer here.
The proper way with firearms and all of that stuff, and the fun side too, seeing the competition and crazy.
Yes.
Oh, and that's and if you're not even in any of that, there's still plenty of other 4-H activities. Computers.
Absolutely.
If you want to learn, like maybe you have a public service desire, and you want to, some people have been a mayor or a congressperson or something like that.
Yeah, come work on your public speaking. Come work on a lot of different skills, and there are a lot of leadership responsibilities that you can partake in 4-H.
Yeah,
4-H is a wonderful program, and it really is. It helps kind of, in my opinion, kind of seal that gap between our school educational system and the social world out there. And so it really does help bring them full circle.
And you know what? And it's something that you're saying there's a really good point with the world we live in today and the way technology is. And you know how, kids think in texting and thinking, that's the world they communicate with now. And that will get you so far.
Yes.
But in the world today, you have to have those other skills to talk to someone face to face, to have
that
actual conversation and back and forth and problem-solving skills, and 4-H will immerse your children into all of that. So they can still work their their text world, but when it's time for them to talk and converse and convey a message in a way that everyone can understand, then they're gonna have that skill set.
Yeah, and that honestly is becoming a rarer and rarer skill for youth today to actually have those skills to just look somebody in the eye, shake their hand, and introduce themselves.
It's just because we're different. Everyone's used to chatting behind a screen now.
Yes,
yeah,
very much so. And so this is a great place to learn that and develop those skills.
This is the stuff that you need to incorporate in your kid to get them the well-rounded stuff, especially if you have a kid that you're not. Like they don't have. You're trying to find out what they're interested in, what makes them tick.
Yes.
And a lot of times, the best way to do that is throw everything at them and see what sticks. And 4-H can help you do that. Get them involved in as many clubs as possible, and then we'll weed it down to the ones they kind of really, really gravitate towards. But if you're trying to find a niche for your kids, this is a great way to
find interests and hobbies outside of the PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so this is really a great place for them to learn that. There's just about anything you can imagine and things you can't imagine. We have programs and things for them to get involved with.
These are going to be the things that they learn through 4-H are going to be the things that when they're in their 30s with their own families, it's going to come back to the forefront. Remember, this is the stuff that it's preparing them to be good adults. Whatever passion they have, it's giving them the tools to be able to pursue that. And that you can, and in the world we live in today, that's harder and harder to come by. So things like 4-H are a godsend, and we need to support them. So please, next time you go to the fair, double the ice creams so we can have more programs.
Please do. But really, I mean, and then going into that, I mean, right now here in November, well, actually, I think FAFSA got delayed. Normally it starts in October, but it's going to start up, I believe, December 1st is when it's supposed to drop.
So they got a little bit of.
So you've got all these youth who are applying for scholarships and applying to colleges right now. All of these things that we're talking about here in 4-H go on a resume. They help pad that resume so that when you're applying for those scholarships, when you're applying to colleges, you have stuff to put on your resume.
You got
all these things that you've done in 4-H.
In the military, we used to call it bullet points.
Yes, that's it.
But yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're building, because in essence, they're building the resume. They're building that resume so when they have to do their sales pitch to get into the place they want to, and they got that packet, that thing's loaded up with that great stuff.
Very much so.
This is the stuff, and even if they're not pursuing college per se, maybe they want to go in a different direction. They've got the skill set to take that with wherever they go. It gives them, the understanding of the work ethic, the communication skills, problem-solving skills.
Yes.
That's something that's so great in 4-H, working in group team settings, working with others. These are the skill sets you really can't teach a child by yourself.
Exactly.
You need to immerse them in the environment and let them thrive.
Yeah.
And 4-H gives that opportunity.
It really
to your
does.
kids, and they can start young. Like for the early ones,
yeah.
what's the earliest they can start in a 4-H program?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
This is when I wish Tamara was here.
But it's young.
Yeah, so our clover buds are younger. So majority of the ones that I deal with as far as the livestock showing and the shooting sports things, usually it's third grade and up, so 8 and in the third grade and then up from there. But there are the clover buds, which are below 8 and below third grade.
Okay.
That can sign up and... Gosh, I'll have to look up the ages again.
Well, we can call and ask, but
yeah, call the extension
and
office.
it goes right up to 18 and everything. So
that's it. Yeah,
so,
it goes all the way through 18. And
absolutely, so,
it really is phenomenal and a great place to socialize, learn skills, pad that resume, and really develop as a human being.
Absolutely, and who knows? Maybe they find their passion.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they grow up to be whatever it is, and 4-H was the conduit that got them there.
Yes,
so.
I mean, there's one young lady who's planning to go to college and study entomology, and that's in her experience with FFA doing the entomology competition and also with 4-H in entomology. And so that's the study of insects for those of y'all.
She's got the bug.
Yeah, she's got the bug.
I was waiting for just to do the bug pun. I was lurking, waiting for the bug pun. But, so please call or go online, and we can get you set up and learn you more about becoming a part of all of the 4-H and all that good stuff there. Also, okay. Well, that's what we were just talking about. But we had a call saying they want to know how to join 4-H, and that's what we were just telling them.
So contact the extension office.
Yeah.
So if it's your first time signing up, you do need to come in, get the paperwork, fill that out, and turn it in.
Yeah.
But then once you've been in 4-H, you can usually just renew online.
Sure.
And then we get that information. And
then,
so,
of course, at your meetings and stuff, they probably will show you and tell you if you need help.
And we
all
have
that.
9 clubs right now in Chaves County. And so you get to look at the different clubs that are out there and pick which one works best for your schedule.
Yeah.
Which one that you prefer to go to based on its location on where they have their meetings.
And you can get involved in 4-H and not have one second of farming and ranching experience.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a requirement. You don't have to grow up on a farm or a ranch to be a part of 4-H. There's so much. Now, that being said, there is that side. If you love showing animals and husbandry and all of that, 4-H has got you covered. But you don't have to like any of that to be involved in 4-H.
No, but if you want to, if you're interested in it and your family didn't grow up with that background, you live in town, but you're interested in learning more about it, this is a great place to learn about it.
By the way, they do pets like at the fair for livestock.
Yeah.
So if you have dogs and stuff like that,
they have a whole pet show.
And so if you live in a neighborhood where they frown upon you having a pig in your front yard, then maybe you can give it to You weird people. They don't like a big old pig in their neighborhood like that, or an 800-pound cow.
Pig show's my favorite.
Yeah. I just love the boards and the kids and the It's just fun to watch. And,
it is.
And to be honest, there is a dance to it. There is like organization.
There is. There's a lot that goes into the showing aspect
it is neat.
of it.
But if you missed it, you'll have to catch it next fair season.
Yes.
Here. But we also have a couple events we want to kind of remind folks about through the home ec side.
Yeah, so
of
Tamara isn't here
office.
today, but Christmas Showcase is coming up, and I believe that is November the 14th.
And this is a highly coveted the craft books that the books they get from this event are the collector's item. That's the reason people want to do this.
Great food recipes, great homemade gifts that you can make for things for people. It really is a wonderful event that goes on. Especially if you love arts and crafts, if you love working on things, if you love cooking and baking, it is a wonderful event to attend.
And every year it's different.
Yes, every year it's
so
different.
If you went last year,
new things.
Or year before, you're going to learn different projects this year. And it's food, it's gift ideas, it's decor, all of that for the holidays.
Yes.
And then so you get to learn and try and sample and do the stuff at the event. There's 2 events. There's one right around the lunchtime, and then there's one after work.
Yes.
It's what, $10-15? It's very cheap to sign
I don't
up.
even think it's that much.
Yeah,
actually.
or maybe $5.
Maybe $5.
Yeah, and then it
call the
includes
extension office and ask to speak with Tamara to
Yes.
confirm that. But I believe it's. I want to say it's about $5.
Yeah, and you get the book.
You get the book. You get the samples. They're my favorite part, honestly. But they're delicious.
Oh wait, you want me to try this delicious
Yeah.
food? Yeah, I'll muster up the courage.
Yeah. I twist my arm.
But again, that's November 9th.
14th.
14th. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
RSVP by calling the Chavez County Extension Office.
Or come into the Extension office and you can get your ticket right away.
Yeah,
and
very
so
good.
it is a wonderful event. It's a fun family event.
And it's exactly the same whether you go during the lunch hour or if you go after work or school or whatever. It's the exact. Now, that being said, if you want to catch it twice or get two cookies or free samples twice,
sample twice.
I like the way you
hurt.
think.
Yeah.
Then come to both. But if you're hoping for new content for the other one, no, it's the same both times.
Yes.
And get the book. And I'm not sure, but I think if you sweet talk Tamara and you're trying to get a hold of some older books, she may be able to dip into the archive, but you got to talk nice to her.
Yeah, you got to be friendly.
Yeah,
you
talk nice to her to get that done.
So hopefully bring out those 4-H skills.
There you go. There you go. Work on some of your Robert's rules here. But and then of course, if you have any questions about anything we talked about, don't hesitate to call the extension office.
Please do, and we'll give that number here at the end. But other things that are coming up is October 26th. NMDA is hosting a pesticide disposal event.
Okay.
So if you have old expired pesticide, or if it's pesticide that's no longer usable, this is a great time to get rid of it, so you don't have to store it on your shelf anymore.
Is that pretty much any, like even over the counter, like your Raids or whatever you get?
Yeah,
all that too?
they can dispose of that, and so this is predominantly for agricultural producers.
Okay.
But if you have some pesticide at your house, don't dump it down the drain. Don't just pour it out. Dispose of it responsibly. And so this is a great offering for that. And I'm really excited that NMDA is hosting that here in Roswell.
Yeah.
That's going to be at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, and that again is October the 26th.
So we're about a week and a half here.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
please,
sir.
Please drop that stuff off. Don't send it to the landfill or pour it down the drains or do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Let them dispose of it properly, and that way it doesn't end up back in our water table and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then for all of our pesticide applicators out there, we're having our continuing educational units, or CEUs, on November the 8th. And so that is going to be a Wednesday, and that will be at Hobson's Hall at the fairgrounds.
Very good. Excellent.
And so that's all coming up.
Nice. Please call RSVP. Give out that phone number to the extension office.
It's 575-623-3210.
Call it. Leave a voicemail if you do not get a live person. And of course, if you can always, it's through New Mexico State University here, but if you go, the extension office does have a Facebook page as well.
Yes, we do have Facebook and a website. And so you can reach us and find us there as well.
And then leave a message to there, and Drew or Tamara or somebody will
get back to you.
We'll get back to you. So,
that's
good
it.
Deal. Well, thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you. And also, another thing that I do want to mention, there will not be a gardening at the library this month.
Okay.
I just can't make it this weekend. And then
we'll see you in November.
But in November, we'll be talking about winter gardening.
Okay.
And then another thing, if anybody's interested in the Master Gardeners and want to know more about it and get to know us as a chapter here in Chaves County, November the 15th at the Extension office from 5:30 until about 7:30, we'll be hosting just kind of an open house for people to come meet Master Gardeners, talk to Master Gardeners, and find out what all it is about and if they're interested in it. So if you're
take the
interested
first
in
steps
gardening,
to getting and approaching to be a Master Gardener
that's
yourself.
it.
So, good deal. Excellent. Well, thank you, Drew, as always. We'll see you next time here, if not sooner. If we need to get in before then to talk about this, please reach out, Drew. We'll make that happen.
Same goes.
So.
A baby box allows for the legal, safe, and anonymous surrender of an infant provided under the state's safe haven law. It features 3 silent alarms that alert first responders to the presence of a surrendered infant. The baby will be attended to within 5 minutes and taken to a hospital for a medical evaluation. The ENMU Chamber Choir has begun their 4-day tour in Artesia. The first event was held on Sunday. All the performances are free and open to anyone. However, if you do plan to attend a performance at a school building, you do need to check with district officials to request permission to listen to the concert. Today's performance is at the Roswell High School Theater at 10 and the Ruidoso High School Choir Room at 3. And then on Tuesday at 10, the Las Cruces High School, and at 1 p.m. at the Centennial High School. Finally, on Wednesday at 9 a.m. at Mayfield High School. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
If you work in marketing, here's a lesson from our friends at Netflix. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by NetSuite. If you run a business, visit netsuite.com/Kim today to get NetSuite's KPI checklist absolutely free. Earlier this year, Netflix cracked down on password sharing. Tens of thousands of angry customers threatened to cancel their subscriptions unless their adult children, retired moms and dads, grandparents, and cousins could continue to freeload off of one Netflix password. Now, flash forward and let's see what really happened in that cancellation rush. Despite all the noise, Netflix gained the most new subscribers ever. For shareholders, the company posted its best quarter for subscriber growth in years. But after only a few weeks of being without the programs, all of those who canceled and more came back. Note to marketing: an angry letter does not always translate to a lost customer, unless you're Bud Light. Join over 600,000 people who get tech news and tech smarts with my free newsletter. Sign up now at getkim.com. Do you ever get the feeling that someone's watching you, even when there's no one else in the room? Well, here's why you need ExpressVPN. Because the truth is, there is someone watching your every move, your internet service provider, including every website you visited late at night and how much time you spent on each one. That's why I use ExpressVPN every time I go online. Because with ExpressVPN, 100% of my traffic is rerouted through their encrypted servers, so no one can see a thing. ExpressVPN is quick and easy to use and won't slow down your connection. Just open the app, tap on Connect, and that's it. ExpressVPN works on all your devices, whether you browse the internet on your phone, tablet, or computer. Connect up to 5 devices at once under a single ExpressVPN subscription. Right now, get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN free at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look good today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the afternoon high. Should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, our low dropping to about 60 and maybe an isolated shower. And then we get some changes on Tuesday with a low pressure system moving across the southwestern states. Showers and a few thunderstorms will be possible. Our high going up to about 80. Cooler with a few showers Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It's Roswell High still undefeated after a Friday night full of football. Roswell defeated Mayfield at home by a score of 48-15. The Coyotes were only leading 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. That was due to an A.B. Toscano rushing touchdown, but put up 21 points in the second quarter, including an interception return for a touchdown by Cy Carrasco. Roswell rolls and will play Goddard on Friday to wrap up the regular season. The Rockets fell big time to Artesia on the road Friday night, 54-14. Dexter wins big at Tucumcari, 62-7. They'll finish out the regular season at Ruidoso on Friday. And it was Gateway Christian finishing the regular season, walloping Dora 56-6. They'll take on Floyd. First round of the playoffs Friday night. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Businesses ranging from airlines to auto parts makers are starting to feel the heat from the month-long strike by the hourly workers at the Detroit 3 automakers, with analysts warning that the financial hit could increase if the walkout does not end soon. Oil prices rose on Friday as investors worried about the potential supply disruptions in the Middle East, one of the world's top producing regions, after signs of escalation of the Israel-Palestinian crisis. 50 years after the 1973 Arab oil embargo, the current crisis in the Middle East has the potential to disrupt global oil supplies and push prices higher. CSX reported a 24% drop in the railroad's third quarter profit as it hauled 2% less freight. CSX improved the speed of its trains to an average of 17.6 miles per hour in the quarter from 15.8 miles per hour a year ago. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nook. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu have agreed to a continued flow of aid into Gaza. The BBC's Paul Adams in Jerusalem says the two leaders had a phone call over the weekend.
The Israelis are saying, look, we're happy to let this go on, provided that the various conditions that we have stipulated are met. But as for what a continued flow of aid means and whether that does become anything remotely resembling an adequate flow of aid, well, we'll have to see, because I think some officials, UN officials, will tell you we need 200 or 300 trucks, particularly if a lot of those trucks have to be used up bringing in water. That's a pretty bulky process. So they need a great deal more, and they need it very, very urgently.
Israeli warplanes struck hundreds of targets all across Gaza overnight. The U.S. vowing to defend the Philippines in the event of an attack after Chinese ships blocked and collided with 2 Filipino vessels in the disputed South China Sea.
Philippine diplomats summoned a Chinese embassy official in Manila on Monday for a strongly worded protest following Sunday's collisions off 2nd Thomas Shoal, which is also claimed by China. No injuries were reported, but the Philippine ships reported damage. China has blamed the Philippines for the collisions, saying the vessels were carrying construction materials to strengthen the Philippine outpost at the shoal. The Philippines and other neighbors of China have resisted Beijing's sweeping territorial claims over virtually the entire South China Sea. I'm Julie Walker.
The search for a permanent Speaker of the House resumes this week, more than 2 weeks after Kevin McCarthy was ousted from the job. 9 Republicans declaring their candidacy for the Speaker's position. On Wall Street, the Dow down 54. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
One of the world's leading Christian clergymen takes a stand for Israel. We get details on that in this report from the Media Line's Michael Friedson.
The Archbishop of Canterbury has warned against allowing allegations that Israel bombed a Gaza hospital to grow into a blood libel. Archbishop Justin Welby told reporters in Jerusalem not to assume it's Israel. He said, "You have no proof it's Israel. Many people have made a clear case it's not." Israel says the incident was caused by an errant missile fired by the Islamic Jihad terrorist organization. A large number of rockets fired from the Gaza Strip by the terrorist groups failed to clear Palestinian territory, occasionally killing those who launched it or those upon whom it falls. The Archbishop said, at the very best, do not start propagating another blood libel. I'm Michael Friedson, Town Hall News, Jerusalem.
Find news and analysis at themedialine.org and townhall.com. In sports, the Rangers take the American League Championship Series to the limits.
The ALCS is headed to a seventh game after Nathan Eovaldi allowed 2 runs over 6 1/3 innings as the Rangers beat the Astros 9-2. Eovaldi surrendered just 5 hits, all singles, and he struck out 4.
It's big for us to be able to turn the page and be able to lock in on this game today, and now we got to do the same thing tomorrow. And obviously it's win or go home, so we got to make sure that we do what we did today, and I think that set the tone with the starting pitching.
Mitch Garver finished 3 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs for the Rangers, while Adolis Garcia hit a grand slam after striking out in his first 4 at-bats. Adam Spillane, Houston.
The varsity and junior varsity football teams in Lahaina played their first home game since the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century destroyed the town on Maui. The return of football helping the community have a glimmer of hope amid the destruction wrought by the deadly wildfire. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The town will listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Hope your Monday's going amazingly well.
Mm-hmm.
Start of the week, weather's nice.
Finally cooling off.
Got a little chance of rain tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll see.
It's really sad, though, because as I've kind of gone through and done an inventory on the clothing that I still have wearable.
Yeah.
I'm down to 1.
Ooh.
I'm down to 1 long sleeve t-shirt.
Sounds like you need some.
I need to upgrade. Well, for a while, Walmart, for like 3 years, Walmart was putting out those long sleeve tees in that 2-tone, almost like jersey style.
Mm-hmm. Like the baseball.
They just stopped doing it. Like, I got every single one of those shirts they put out, and then they just stopped making them. And now I'm lost in a field. I'm like, what do I do? Where do I go for my long sleeve t-shirts? My forearms are chilly.
I guess they're not in style anymore.
I guess not.
The baseball. I call them baseball style.
Kind of baseball style, yeah.
It always seems like
they did a
official shirt you wear under your baseball shirt.
They did a run of t-shirts like that for like a season, and then they were just
kind of like the one you're wearing now.
Kind of exactly like this, yeah, just long sleeve.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I forgot I was wearing this shirt. I'll be honest with you, I did. I was like,
you mean like the pattern you're wearing on your...
It's hard to describe. I have to say... Oh, yeah.
Well, on Saturday, I didn't tell you this. Sunday, I told you about my anger towards the National Football League and YouTube Sunday Ticket. Well, on Saturday, we spent a day working on a project, my wife and I. She bought she told me about a week ago, we were talking in just our bathroom and how we have things situated. Mm-hmm. She wanted a bedroom vanity, place where she could sit down and do her makeup, and she could hook her hair dryer, do all the things.
Little mirror.
She's like, I'm tired of doing that in the bathroom and getting in the way and all this. And it's like, okay. So I was like, well, go find you a vanity night. We'll go get it. Blah, 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 blah. So I kind of thought she was going to go to a furniture store and buy one. She ordered one online. and came on Saturday, and we spent Saturday putting it together.
Now, was it relatively put together, or
No.
did you have to like assemble wood?
No. It came in 2 boxes.
Okay.
Which, by the way, they're in my Jeep. I need to throw away. Note to self, throw away boxes of Jeep. It came in 2 boxes in a bunch, and it came in all these, just bags of parts and boards. And it was all the particle board stuff, of course. And we got through it. We built it. It took 4.5 hours for us to build it.
No, I understand.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, I got the instructions, and I open up, and right off the gate, the thing says, highly recommended professional installation of this product. And I'm like, oh
boy.
I am not one of those. This is not my forte. Because and to be honest, it wasn't, once you get what they're trying, because the instructions were poorly, as all instructions are poorly written to, once you figure out what they're talking about, then you get it. But you got to get there first.
Right.
So fortunately, we found a video of someone making this product, and that helps. So because you can kind of like, okay, what are they talking about?
Pause, do the thing they do.
Yeah, and then so you had to go between the instructions to find the part. All right, I need 7 G's to make which are like a certain type of screw, you know. And so once we got that rhythm and everything, it started. But for a while, I'm just like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do this. And then and of course it's a nice concept, but it's particle board and everything. I give this thing a year before it's probably needs to be replaced. But it has a mirror with LED lights around it, and then it's got 3 different light settings and stuff.
Okay.
And the mirror light is a push button on the mirror. So you have a button. So you had to set up the electronic section to that, and then they want you to stick this thing on the back that's like the sensor that you're hitting the lights, except for there's no sticky on that thing. It falls off 3 seconds after you put it on. We literally had to get like hardcore packaging / duct tape to secure it to the back of this thing so it won't fall off, which it did like twice on Sunday. So Kim went back there and just duct tape the dust out of that thing. But it was, and here's the other thing. I am not in shape anymore for this stuff, man. I was straight up sore. Like today, I'm still a little sore, but yesterday, I was literally, every time I get out of the chair, walk around, I look like a stowed up 80-year-old man. I'm like, well, we were on the floor all day, on my knees and on my hips, completely. And my knees and my hip. I was like, everything. And it was a cross between just old man pain and like rug burn on your knees. Because I was wearing shorts.
I have used the phrase range of motion issues more in the last 5 years of my life than I ever have before.
Right.
So like I get that exactly where you're coming from. If you sit in a position for long enough, your body's, well, I guess I'm here now. This is where I live.
Sunday was totally a day of,
I'm Lieutenant Dan now.
What happened, man? I used to be doing things. Now I spend 4 hours building something and I'm out of commission for a day and a half.
Can I tell you, and this might actually be a sign of clinical depression, but can I tell you a surefire method for me getting us to sleep at night? Like if I'm tossing and turning, I can't go to sleep. A surefire method for me is to, in my head, step by step, envision me doing a chore. I'm out like that.
Puts you in sleep.
I'm out like that. Like it doesn't matter what the chore is. If I'm like, I envision, and that just exhausts my brain. I'm just like, well, we're going to sleep now.
See, mine is I need to stop thinking altogether about anything, because whatever it is I'm thinking about, I turn it into a what about it? It begat something to begat this to begat. That's just how my brain goes. And so if I do something like that, next thing I'll spend the next hour on a whole series of things. So I just literally need to clear my head and picture like floating in the mountains or something,
just like
or
how
floating in the air.
Like washing dishes, I'm like, well, I have to move the pots and pans out of the sink. I'm going to have to fill the sink up with soap and water.
Now, if I want to plot and plan my next day, it's great for that, because I'm like, oh, I got to meet it. 2 o'clock, I got to do that thing. And
so, the thought of putting together a vanity, that exhausts me. The last thing we put together that I can remember was we put a dresser together for my daughter, like right after she was born. And we got halfway done before we realized that we put it together backwards.
Oh.
And so we had to backtrack, and it was...
Well, and that's the directions really made you, like, pay attention, because the boards, it's like board 7, and then you're like, okay, well, board 7 on one side looks this way, on this side, and you're like, make sure it's the right side facing there. Unfortunately, the only time we had a couple backtracks was putting in some of the drawer sliders. Like 2 parts were together as one, and I didn't realize it, so we separated and put it back together, and later I need to put the other part on the other part of the drawer, and I'm like, oh, we're missing this part. It's not in the box. Tear everything out of the box. Oh, it's right here on these. Oh, we got to pull. And then we were like, the only way we can get these separated is take it apart again. So, a whole bunch of that. But it finally got...
Did it come with just one Allen wrench?
No, it came with one nubby Phillips head screwdriver.
Oh, yeah, them little suckers.
Yeah, it was thick as far as the handle, but it was approximately 3 inches long. And so I had a regular screwdriver and that one. And then and the rest you could do by hand with hand stuff.
Mike said hand stuff.
Well, I mean, like the turning and stuff. You didn't need
I know what you meant.
Tool.
I knew what you meant.
Although I did have nightmares because every time you have to put it's the K if you need it for this particular project, but it was these screws that had a little plastic deal you put in the hole and then you'd screw it in. That was your anchor, and then on the other side you had to put the nut, that little C. Well, it's not really a nut per se; it's more of a lock. And it's got a little Phillips head on one end, and then you have to slide it into the hole and then twist it, and it locks into that screw.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So it was literally that times 8,000 to put this thing together. So I did have that night going to bed of just, all right, 7 holes. Don't forget to screw them down or it won't stay in there, right?
No spare parts?
Oh, they give you extra washers. And
they say they do. They're not. They don't.
No, they did.
Okay.
I literally had bags.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna give me a kit of put something together, include the exact amount that I need, because I'm gonna feel like I screwed something up. Well, those extras.
Well, those little the little C clamps or whatever they call them, they had 2 different sizes of them. So I had they gave me more than enough of those to do. So when I got done, I had probably another dozen of those each. So I knew I was like, no, they gave me too many. I'd be looking for holes to put these things in at this point.
So many extra parts. You're like, well, I might as well start another one now.
Well, and that's just it. That's the part I'm most proud of my wife and I, because we did work together as a team. Like there, at moment, I was pinging. I'm like,
yeah,
call somebody. It says professional help. You know what happens to me when I get in these scenarios. But finally, my wife calmed me down, and then she was kind of leader of the steps. And I said, Kim, just tell me what hole to put what thing in, and I can do it.
So basically marriage.
Yeah. But then it got to a point where, like, the electric and all that, and it wasn't making sense. And I'm like, all right, okay, I got it. Follow this. Boom to here. And then I kind of figured out the pattern. So we were good at that.
That's impressive, because I know some people who put together like an end table and it ends in a domestic dispute.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys are still together.
Yeah. And the other part was it looked like the end product.
Right. You hold the picture up, you're like, but yours was good.
The benches and the drawers were where they were supposed to be. The mirror was, and the lights worked as when you push the button and you turned it off, it did what it's supposed to do. I've been trying. I've slept 2 nights now with this thing in our bedroom, and I think we need to do some taping.
Yeah?
Because it's got a lot of light. Like the places where you plug it into the wall, there's like a blue light on the little outlet or little plug, and then there's a white light, and then on the light, the mirror, there's the button on there is illuminated,
right?
So it lights up our room at night. This thing really is kind of bright at night.
I stopped using a lamp in a room that I was staying in because it had this blue flash to it.
So I think I need to get some duct tape or something, just put them over those little blue lights on the plug, and that'll darken it up a little bit. But I was thinking, because does it bother you? I was like, no, but last night I was like, this is not.
I bought this. It's like a multi-plug thing from Temu, and it works fine, whatever. But it's got this like the brightest blue light you've ever seen in your life, just one LED bulb. And so like when I'm trying to plug something in, I have to like shield my eyes to find the plug because it's so bright.
Yeah. This thing was quite the
high beam.
But we did it.
Congrats.
It didn't end up in a trash can. It's a usable product that my wife used this morning and yesterday.
Very cool.
Very happily. And it was weird because this morning we have our routine, and normally I'm in the shower, and then she's in the bathroom blow drying and stuff. So I was in the shower, and I hear the blow dryer. I'm like, oh, it's not in the bathroom there. Mm-hmm. She's at her desk doing her little thing.
Out there now.
Yeah. So
that's gonna be fine until it's like Sunday, and you're like trying to sleep in, and you just hear.
Yeah. Well, and I know what's going to happen because this thing's built with particle board and stuff. In about a year, this thing will be probably toast. And so maybe 2 years.
I'd give it a good solid 2.
And so next time we're going to go to a real furniture store and buy one that I don't have to put together, that they can deliver and then plug in and go.
It's like buying a Hisense TV. You know you're not buying quality. You're buying it because it costs $100.
Well, and I told her, I said, dude, we're not buying any more furniture we got to put together ever again. Ever.
Or we're going to buy somebody to put it together for us.
I said, ever again.
Angie's List.
I think our guest is here. I
there.
thought I heard Tammy come in earlier here. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Then shortly thereafter, Tammy Alvarez will join us. She's got an awesome community art project that she's got planned and is executing as we speak. And so she's going to tell us all about that. And it's kind of tying in the rest of the show because next hour we're going to have artist Greg Birch. He's got some stuff going on his own, but also partnering up with Tammy to do a painting and stuff for this event too. So kind of all puts together here. But you'll learn all about it here with Tammy this hour. So we'll talk about that here in just a few. And either way, I'm going to get paint on me somewhere, some point. Before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look good today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the afternoon high. Should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, our low dropping to about 60 and maybe an isolated shower. And then we get some changes on Tuesday with a low pressure system moving across the southwestern states. Showers and a few thunderstorms will be possible. Our high going up to about 80. Cooler with a few showers Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 60 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 90%. Wow. And it's not raining. Winds are currently out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Mostly sunny and a high of 84 for you Monday. Winds will be out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 56 degrees with south winds 15 to 20. It's a little breezy. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. We are looking at a 20% chance of rain. They say for tomorrow afternoon. However, you could wake up to some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy for the day and a high of only 79. So we'll be near 80 tomorrow with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, we are looking at a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 56 degrees and southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, 20% chance of rain, partly cloudy, and a high of 77. Wednesday night, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain, mainly before 9. Then partly cloudy otherwise with an overnight low of 52. Then looking at the rest of the week on Thursday, sunny and 82. Friday, sunny and 82. Saturday, sunny and 82. And then sunny and 75 for your Sunday. All right, it is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute break, and then Tammy Alvarez will join us here on the other side, so don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Do you struggle with acne, eczema, or worry about skin cancer? Research suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer by the age of 70. But when detected early, 99% of skin cancer cases are curable. At Epiphany Dermatology of Roswell, we place special emphasis on prevention, screening, and treatment. So schedule your annual skin exam by calling us at 575-208-7050 or by visiting our website at epiphanydermatology.com and get checked today. Prevention is key.
Are you ready to give your car what it deserves? Look no further than Roswell Ford. Roswell Ford services all makes, all models, from Hondas to Hyundais, Nissans to Toyotas, Chevys to Dodges, Chryslers to Jeeps, and much more. This month, experience the works with 5 quarts of oil and more for just $49.99. Diesel vehicle owners, we've got you covered too. Get the works oil change with up to 13 quarts for just $119.99. And Roswell Ford's offering gas oil changes on Saturday with up to 5 quarts for just $19.99. Need more than just an oil change? How about $50 off any fluid service? Breathe fresh air into your engine with Roswell Ford's gas engine air filter for just $24.99 or just $59.99 for diesel engines. Plus, any additional services recommended by Roswell Ford's expert technicians enjoy a 10% discount. For expert service that'll have you back on the road and enjoying southeastern New Mexico, visit Roswell Ford today and drive away with confidence. The home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, I could say local artist, and of course, Main Street Arts, the Fine Arts League. Tammy Alvarez joining us in studio this morning.
Good morning. It's too early.
Yeah, it is. It's actually for me. I'm like, all right, now I'm into my day, but I can. Yeah. I feel your pain. I was a former night owl.
Never been a morning person, so I'm proud of myself. I'm up and done.
And that's just the art world. I mean, artists generally they if they're working at 5 in the morning, it's because they were up all night working.
Probably so.
They're just wrapping up. They're not starting their day if they're out around at 5 in the morning. That's when the creative juices hit, and I get that because once you're in the zone, then
you want to stay with it.
You're going until you either pass out or you leave the zone there.
Yes.
So, but that being said, I understand that. So first off, if you're loving and wanting art and want to meet local artists, things, you need to stop into the Main Street studio there.
Main Street Arts.
Yeah, the Main Street Arts Gallery. It's right downtown here. It's between
223 North Main.
Yeah, it's right. Is that the building right next to the courthouse stuff on the other side, or it's right in the downtown?
Another block down.
Okay, I always get a little mixed up there, but it's right downtown. You can't miss it.
We're just 2 doors away from Bullock's.
There you go. Yeah, on the same block there,
Yes.
kind of the opposite end of the block.
Yes.
The Main Street is on one side and Bullock's is on the other side. Yeah, but can't miss it. There's plenty of parking back there behind it, or you can park on our side and walk across the street there too. But if you're looking to meet local artists and looking for artwork, or maybe you yourself are a local artist and want to
definitely
connect
we would love
in,
to meet you.
that's what it's about. And it's or if you're wanting to learn art and stuff like that. So that's really a great forum for that here. And so from that kind of spawned your vision here that we're working on.
Right.
Now.
So I've created an event for the community called For the Love of Community.
Yes.
It will take place February 17th. We had to scoot our date. There was a lot going on the weekend before.
The January, that first weekend, that's right around Valentine's Day,
yeah,
right?
There's like a Safari Club, and
Okay.
there's 2 big events going on.
Okay.
So we scooted it forward to the 17th.
Perfect.
Chris, the CEO of Pioneer, has graciously given us use of their big meeting room
Pioneer Bank
at
is
North Main.
Pioneer Bank is always that business that
my gosh.
do so much for the community.
So amazing.
Give of their facilities or their resources to so many nonprofits in our community, and so it does not surprise me.
They have their own nonprofit, Helping Hands.
Exactly.
Talk about an amazing group of people. So
Absolutely.
I love them all. I've been at that bank since we moved here.
Yeah.
And it's just really grown in my heart because they are so involved.
Very community-driven, community-minded. The money you invest in their company, they put it back into our community all the time.
And it's back to us. That's right.
So we're very thankful for them. And not surprising that they signed right up to help you out here.
Yeah, and of course, he did a little painting for me.
Oh, cool. Good deal.
So what I've done is I am asking community leaders to get with me or on their own and do a little 4-inch canvas.
Okay.
Painting of whatever they want.
So you're not to paint a big masterpiece, huge thing that's going to hang in a gallery?
Just tiny little
a 4-inch something?
And we're going to do a silent auction.
Yeah.
Now, when I say community leaders, I know there are some people that I've talked to that they're like, well, I'm not a community leader. Don't
that's just
underestimate your value in our community.
The people that are our community leaders will never admit it because that's not why they're doing it.
Exactly. I'm talking business owners that have been in business for many years.
Sure.
They offer services. They offer employment, family businesses.
People that run our volunteer organizations.
Exactly. Those huge. And, of course, our elected officials.
Yeah, our coaches, like all you coaches out there coaching football and baseball and soccer teams and all that stuff.
It's so important.
Yeah, all of that is you giving back to the community, and that makes you a community leader.
It does. You may feel like you're just touching this handful of lives.
All you scout leaders and church leaders out there, absolutely.
That ripple effect just goes.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I'm asking for this morning is don't be shy. Don't undervalue your importance in our community.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here since 98. There are still so many people I don't know. Please contact me.
We're the biggest little town out there.
When tourists come through and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a symphony, we have an orchestra, we have a choir, we have little theater way off Broadway.
How many museums we have?
Exactly.
A zoo.
I say, we are so blessed with so many creative and again, family oriented and
to be honest, just pick one of our museums, the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art. That museum should not be sitting in a town this tiny. It should be sitting in a place like Chicago.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
that's
they're all
how
amazed.
blessed we are.
I get such amazement from people. You're right. I saw this, and I said, well, you've got to go here.
Yeah.
But pretty please contact me.
Mm-hmm.
The painting takes an hour and a half to 2 hours. I provide everything for you. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
I want as many as I can, and I don't want anybody to feel left out.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know.
Absolutely. If you'd like to do this, or even if you're just someone in the community that, and here's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
This is all you get to pick where you help best. And so if you have a passion for your particular charity, you can use this to uplift it and to.
There are still charities I didn't know about.
Yeah, we have so many great charities.
Local. And
some are on the radar, some are way under the radar.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
and I would love. So, okay, everybody that I have do a painting for me, I'm asking for their commitment to attend the event.
Yes.
My goal, bottom line, is to have the general public meet in person all of our community leaders.
Yeah.
So if you run a small little charity or a big one that I'm just not aware of, when you're there, what better way to promote?
Absolutely. Put some eyeballs
get the
on
word
your
out there.
Spotlight it.
A business, the same thing. The Assistance League is going to do mocktails for us.
Nice.
They're going to charge, $1 or $2.
Good deal.
And the money goes to them.
Back to the Assistance League, which they do a lot of great work if you're not familiar.
Do. I had no idea.
Yeah. And that's just it. A lot of these charities, they just do so much work that you don't even realize what they do. But you would realize at the moment they're not here.
Exactly.
And Assistance League is very much one of those organizations.
And then El Toro Bravo has agreed to provide like flautas or some yummy finger foods for us. And again, they'll charge a nominal fee just to cover their costs.
Hopefully the bakery gets involved too, because they got some awesome stuff from the bakery over there.
Her husband runs the bakery.
Yeah. Hopefully they slip a few treats on there from that too.
We're going to have yummy food. I have Robert Lindsay, if you were in the gallery during the UFO Festival, he was one of our guest artists.
Oh, very cool.
He is not from here. He travels a lot. We've become friends. His work is amazing.
Does he live like in the southern part of the country, or is he way?
He I think he's out of Texas.
Okay.
But he travels a lot. He spends time in Mexico.
Gotcha.
Just a wonderful.
He hangs his hat in Texas every once in a while,
That's
but
right.
it's usually on his head in many other places.
So he's donated a painting for us. Greg Birch, who's coming in
We'll see him next hour, yeah.
He is donating a painting. So what I'm doing is I'm having local artists donate nice, substantial pieces of work. So the people who come to the event.
Looking for good art. Or talented or not
talented.
like, you know what I mean? Not the guy like that
Something
plays.
you may not be able to afford if you didn't plan for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Something that people actually pay,
Right.
Good money for.
So when the general public comes into the event, they're going to be given a card with the list of the names of everyone who's done a painting.
Okay.
They are going to have a place at the bottom for their information. As they go to the community leaders that are there and introduce themselves, that leader's going to initial it for them.
Oh, nice.
They'll turn those in at the end of the event. The following Monday, however many prizes I can get, the top 3, 4, 5 are going to win those pieces of art, and they'll be on display at the event.
Oh, cool.
I want them to go home with something, to feel besides the little paintings that they're bidding on.
Absolutely.
Also, there will be a place where you can vote, and this is for the community leaders and the general public, to nominate your favorite local charity.
Yeah.
Again, on Monday, we'll announce whatever won the most nominations will receive a good portion of basically the money we raise from the auction will hopefully cover some of our publicity cost.
Good deal.
Everything else will go to the local
Go back
charity.
to the local charity.
So no more. They'll at least get half and probably more than that.
And that's what I love is it's really whatever people's passions are where it goes to. So if you love animals, so you want to support the Humane Society or some of the organizations that work with animals, you can spotlight that. If you're, I want to support the folks that work with people of domestic violence. Guess what? There's going to be an opportunity for you to do that. If you want to help the homeless in our community, there's multiple organizations that you can kind of support through this project here. That's what I love is this project goes back to the actual boots on the ground, nuts and bolts people that are doing the things in our community to make it a better place. Right. And this is a spotlight for any and all of it. Right. So if you love these youth sports coaches and all that stuff, then support those charities and things like that. It really allows whatever your passion is in our community, whether it's through kids or through some of the other, pick it, support it, and have fun and raise awareness and raise money and people as well too. That's we're also raising money, but we want to put it on radar because I imagine a lot of these charities are always looking for volunteers, more people to be involved. And if this puts it on people's radar, they found out because someone paid in a little small painting about it or from that organization, then that's a win-win. And oh, by the way, got a couple $100 off that painting to help the organization out too.
So you get a painting of your choice. It could be somebody you know and they've never painted and you want that one painting they've done because that's kind of fun. It could be because you just like it.
Yeah.
But you get that. You get the opportunity for a larger piece of art.
Okay.
And then you're helping out whichever charity wins. And no matter who wins, it's good for our community.
Everybody wins, yeah.
On a personal note, once you've met somebody who is involved in something, the next time you hear about whatever that was, you perk up, you listen. So here's an opportunity for our community leaders to meet, shake hands with the general public.
Absolutely.
And that way, the next time mom of 4, soccer mom, woman of 3 jobs and 3 kids, when they hear it, they're going to go, I met so-and-so.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Well, and you when you know people's heart, then you know them a little better and you understand where they're coming from. And events like this show people's heart.
Definitely.
And so, there might be, like we said, political and various other leaders here, and they may make decisions in that setting that you don't always agree with.
Right.
But when you see their heart, and this shows their heart, you're like, okay, we're just disagreeing on opinions, not disagreeing on good and things. Right. And that's just it. Everyone, and including the people that volunteer to sign up to be city councilors or go through that gauntlet of all that stuff. You may not agree with what particular policies or details, but every single one of these individuals are people that want a great community, that want to make sure that your kids and their kids and our kids have a fun, safe, beautiful environment to grow up in, and for our families to continue and grow and prosper. And events like this, that's what cements that kind of thing. So wherever your passion is, whether it's with kids or whether it's with the government or whether it's with homeless, this gives you a platform and a chance to let's raise awareness for all there, get more people involved, more money involved, and get some problems solved.
I wanted to include our elected officials. So like you said, this has nothing to do with politics, religion, race, nothing. It is only because we are all part of the Roswell community. And so I feel like most of us, hopefully we're voting, that we inform ourselves, that we vote, and then we're done. In a town this size, especially, it's not the case.
Yeah.
You visit with one of the counselors, one of the commissioners, the mayor. You see him at the grocery store. You see him at a restaurant.
Yeah.
A simple, hello, I met you here. I had this idea. And that, just like throwing the pebble in the pond, you've planted that seed.
Sure.
And so just knowing somebody and taking a minute to share can have a huge effect and change in our community. It doesn't end because you voted for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
it just started,
people,
to be honest. Yeah.
So I want people to understand that just the average person goes to work, goes home, makes dinner, goes to church, whatever.
Yeah.
We can effect change.
And I love we're using art as the platform to bring people together.
Talk about a universal language.
Exactly. Because even if you're not an artist yourself or understand how art is created, you have an opinion on it.
Yeah, and you can appreciate.
You could appreciate and that's the beauty. That's why I love, like, and I mentioned the Anderson because the Anderson's the most eclectic of all of our museums.
So,
that you literally walk into that museum, there's going to be things that you're like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
There's things you hate.
And there's going to be things you're like, how the hell did that end up on a wall somewhere? You know?
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of art.
But that still sparks the conversation.
Exactly.
And that's what I want. I want general public, community leaders to have a middle ground so they can come together and share ideas and get out of their comfort zone a little bit, realize that change comes from the most simplest thing. And if you want something better, you can help make it so.
Sure. Well, and let's think about some of the coolest things our community has and organizations and things. And a lot of it was started because a couple people wanted to get something going. It starts like this. So what you're doing, I love it because I feel like this could be the start. Like, this will be the first one, and I hope we get a good result and everything. But I envision, like, 5 years from now, this could be a staple. Every year in February, we do this. Each year, it goes from, maybe 100 paintings this time to 200, 300 next time, or whatever the numbers are.
Definitely.
It just grows and grows each year, and it's to a point where you don't really have to promote it. People just like, oh, it's that time of year. We need to get our paintings together. You know what I mean?
And community leaders change. Elected officials change.
Absolutely.
I have Lance Bateman, our police chief.
Awesome.
He's an amazing man. I got this thing. I'm blessed. I get to sit and visit with all these people. And I am so loving it. I'm learning so much.
Awesome. And I wonder, like, how many people are going to pick up painting? Like, I imagine out of all of the people that maybe... Well, last time they picked up brush was in school somewhere or something.
I definitely have had those.
I feel like there's going to be a few that said, you know what, this is so, like, now I think I kind of want to do this on my own when I got a little free time.
Yeah.
Not to become the next Vincent Van Gogh, but just for their own mental health.
That would be such a bonus.
Their own little peace of mind.
Having a creative outlet is just good for your soul.
Yeah.
It allows you to disconnect from the yucky.
Yeah.
And just have a little your time,
You know, the perfect example I always love about some of this is President George W. Bush. And I'm not, love, hate his politics, whatever, not the point of the story here. But for folks that don't know, the former president is an accomplished painter artist.
Yes.
And he has done a lot of charity work and a lot of just own painting and art gallery pieces and stuff. And it's really... I think at the end of the day was his mental health. That was him, and he painted to cope with the stresses of being, the most busiest, important man in the world at the time.
That's what got me started. I was a treatment foster mom.
Okay.
And fairly new at it, and loving every minute of it. But oh my gosh, what a different world I was in. And I needed some me time.
Yeah.
I needed the break from that because it's a constant joy and a constant worry.
Sure.
I mean, just so much at extremes. And that's what got me started. I
Right.
needed my little time. So I took classes for 6 months or so, trying a few different things.
Sure, learning the actual
Learning to see if I could even do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Let's see if you liked it.
Yeah.
You know,
And then from there, I'm the kind of like with this event.
Mhm.
Oh, sure, I can do that. Oh, gosh, what am I doing?
Right.
And I learn as I go, and I ask and I watch. And so, but it made all the world a difference for
Sure.
me to give me that, thank goodness.
And I think in the art world, it's really up to you, and you can make it as structured and rule defined as you want it to, or make it with every rule broken known to be in existence.
You learn the rules,
Yeah.
so you know how to break them.
Exactly. That's,
honestly.
you know, at the end of the day, when you get, and it doesn't matter if you're painting or ceramics or
Singing,
metalwork or whatever
drama.
your art form is, you know, once you know, it's kind of like math.
Yes.
You know, in math, you know, you learn all the formulas and you learn the rules of math, and once you apply them, then it's the world's your oyster. We just made a rocket. We just made whatever envelope we're pushing here, and now we're finally in a place in our world where they're saying, oh, art and this science math coexist.
We are trying so hard to get
There's
there.
so much
Gosh.
to where it's like science can go to the next level because the art.
If you didn't have that creativeness
Yeah.
to come up with the idea
Yeah.
that the math supports.
The regimented side of science comes into art to make art better, and then the free-flowing thought side of art comes into science to make science stronger a
We've
little
got to
bit.
have a balance.
It is.
Everything in life is about balance.
Absolutely.
And that creativity, I wish it was stronger in our schools.
Mhm.
I realize.
I think we're getting better.
I think.
But we still got to go ways to go.
We've
It's
gotta
like mental health. We're way more cognizant of it now than we were 30 years ago,
Right.
but we're not at a point where we got a handle on it yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, for kids, it's fine motor skills. It's being in a classroom setting. It's creating something that's theirs and having self-worth and pride.
Plus, it allows kids to learn something in a way like not everybody learns the same. Not everybody can read a set of text and get information and learn from that. Some need to look, you could print the instructions out and read them to me 57 times until my hands touch things and do things. I won't absorb it.
Exactly.
And so that's, you know, your artist types and things like that. But then there's the opposite. Some people they don't do the hands-on. But you give them a checklist, got it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so science and art together allows both of those heads to do the same thing. And I think it gives a platform for that. And that's what I love about this and seeing it coming into schools. And now we're starting to see high schools even, you know, because we grew up in an era where it's like, all right, graduate high school, go to college. That's the next thing. Doesn't matter that you want to be an electrician, go to college. You know what I mean? And now we're looking, it's like, no, your path, you know, sure, college is going to be right for you. You want to be a lawyer? All right, let's do this.
Right.
But a lot of people are like, no, I like to work with my hands. It's like, let's go to an art school. Let's go to a trade school. Let's go to some place.
Bring trade schools back.
Let's
Good
go to a
grief.
place that is higher education. Now you're seeing that, where you're seeing specialized. And obviously you look at like our community college here with Eastern and stuff.
Which
you
we're
know,
so lucky to have.
We are very fortunate. They
Yes.
serve that need that way. So it's
And Bailey Cole at the college
Mhm.
runs the art department. I'm sure I don't have her title right, but she's an amazing woman and an amazing teacher. I have one of my students taking a class from her.
love that.
And just seeing anybody you can learn from, their different ways, you end up making it your own.
Yeah.
But she's amazing. If you're at all interested in
But-
art, check out the college.
Yeah, I always say this every time when we have Eastern come on. It's like if you're retired and looking for something to do, maybe you're just looking for, you know, you can sign up for a class, take an art class. I always wanted to learn ceramics. I always wanted to learn to paint. I always wanted to learn to woodworking, things like that. You don't have to be pursuing a degree. You could. It was like, look, I'm retired. I just, you know, and you take a class a week where you're learning to paint, or maybe it's the other side. It's like I love history. I want to take a history class. Exactly. You know, you don't have to be pursuing a degree.
Creative writing.
Yeah, creative writing. Maybe
you know, I mean, the options are unlimited.
Absolutely, and I think events like this remind people of that. Get them to do that. So, I want to get people, if you're interested in painting a painting, please reach out to Tammy as soon as possible.
And don't be shy. Don't feel like you're self-promoting because I'm asking for community leaders.
And don't feel like you have a skill set. Like, I'm doing this and I can't wait to do it. I'm usually a disaster when it comes to creating things. My
I've had
patience
at least
level.
5 that have never painted anything.
Yeah, and to be honest, the only time I've painted is like school, like arts and crafts, things like that.
Or your house.
Scouting, or painting a house, not
not the same.
not something on a canvas per se, you know. And so I've done a lot of that. Like I remember in school doing a lot of Van Gogh type things, but it was on poster board and things like that, you know. But that's where I learned all that stuff. Yeah. So I understand concept. I understand the points. I just don't have the skill set to practice said things. Like I understand, the different forms of art, and I may not define of everyone, but I understand, your impressionism versus imperialism versus realism versus surrealism. I understand there's these different worlds of it, and I don't know how they all mix and connect together, but. That's why, you have a certain artist that paints in a certain way. That's why their paintings look like, and that's why you get like a Picasso and you see Picasso. It's like, well, he paints in this certain way. If you're looking for a Picasso that looks like a normal landscape scene, that's not what he does, And
you'd have to look him in the early years.
Yeah. And so I understand, I don't know all the history, I understand what it is, but I understand that things begat things and artists. And, I was talking last hour, like Van Gogh, it's like you realize most people, he wasn't famous and rich and all the things that we know him for now then.
His brother took care of him.
Yeah. He
supported him.
Yeah. He was an obscure person that like a lot of artists was dealing with a lot of things and, love and life like every other artist was. And, after his death is when his fame and the fortune arrived to the family, but it wasn't Vincent Van Gogh. And, and same thing with his ear. They didn't cut off his whole ear. It was just a tip. And so everyone, but a lot of that is stuff you learn a little bit. Yeah. And so once you reel the real stories and stuff,
it's interesting.
It is very interesting. And it just amazes me. And you always wonder, a guy like Van Gogh, would he even understand that hundreds of years later, people know his name? And I'm pretty sure he would have never thought that.
No.
When he was walking this earth and doing his thing.
Because he was never given the respect for his work.
Sure.
So he would never have expected it.
Yeah. And that's why I think a lot of people don't realize. He wasn't like you look at like Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a celebrity. He walked around his dime and was treated. You go into the coffee shop or tea shop, wherever he hung out, and hey, William was. Van Gogh wasn't like that. No, it was like it was. But that's the beauty of it, and so. If you want to have a place in your heart to help an organization that you really either you work with directly or just have, I love that group. I love what they do. Every time I'm seeing great things they do, support that. Then reach out to Tammy. Say, hey, I would love to do a painting.
If you know somebody that they would be comfortable you giving me their information.
Mm-hmm.
If you are somebody, pretty please. I'm going to give you my number. It's not a secret. It's on my business cards,
And you can always walk into the Main Street Studios here.
And you can always go into the gallery.
Say, where's that Tammy lady? And they'll hunt her
and
down.
they'll at least find me. But my number is 575-910-3661. I don't always answer the phone, but I'll get back to it. I do see my text a little quicker.
And you have Facebook and all that.
I have 2 Facebooks. I have an artist Facebook and a regular Facebook.
So if you do a Google or do a Facebook search, find her, shoot her a message.
Definitely.
She'll respond back to her. Or just walk into the Main Street Studio and say, I heard about it, love to do this. Or maybe some people, like you said. Maybe they are artists and they said, you know what, and they have a real passion for Humane Society. Right. So you reach out and put a bee in their bonnet, too.
And as an artist, we have a couple of spaces available at the gallery.
Okay.
I would love to see your work, explain how what it takes to be a member.
Give you a platform to help you promote your art.
Definitely. Yeah. For all of our local people, guys, the gallery inside Main Street Arts is one of the best places to shop for gifts.
Absolutely. The holidays around the corner.
We have everything you can imagine. We have over 20 local artists. Small things to large fine art, everything in between.
And a lot will do commission work and things like that too. So if you're thinking, I got an idea for the holidays,
you better get to it now.
Now's the time to work and talk with some of these artists about that stuff.
But please come in and see us.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's everything. It's not just painting. It's all
ceramics,
art forms.
metal, woodwork, oils, pastels, watercolors, charcoal.
Like if y'all went to Artesia, went to Art in the Park this weekend and did some shopping, take that but times 10 in the Main Street art. You know that because it's that gets into a little bit of like mugs and this. I mean, you get some of that here at the art, but it's really art.
We have wonderful jewelers.
Yeah, like if you're looking for like ceramic plates and things like that, there's artists here that if you're looking for good china for the holidays and things, putting the china hutch and all that kind of thing. There's artists here that's what they do, stuff like that.
But I think most people appreciate things that are unique.
Yes.
And 99, I mean, everything there, even if I made 3 rocking horses, they're not all going to be the same.
Right.
So to take the time to choose something that speaks to you for that person means so much more than ordering something online that, millions of people can get. And we offer layaway. So just remember us. I think we get forgotten a little bit. I think, remember us.
Well, and I think too is anytime you think of art and gallery, there's a certain they think, oh, I'm not good enough for that. That's a little bit elite for them.
Definitely.
And I want to say no. It's as down home. Right. Like come in there with your cowboy hat and your boots and sawdust on the floor. It's literally
regular people.
Regular people. But I get it. You hear about art and there's a bouginess that automatically hits there.
Well, it is a little intimidating to say, here's some of my work. What do you think?
Yeah.
If you've never been in that position before,
sure.
Don't let it intimidate you.
Well, and it can be vulnerable because you're putting yourself out there and ask next hour our guest, Greg Birch. He's a guy that, you put yourself out there and it's very vulnerable for you to do that because the moment, art is interpretive. Everybody, I mean, that's why, when you see those wacky stories of them taping a banana to a wall and getting $100,000.
I know. I'm just mad I didn't do it. But.
Well, that's just it. I'm not mad at the artist. I'm mad that people would actually pay that kind of, like you have that much money that you'd be willing to waste it on something that stupid.
And to become a member of the gallery, all of the artists vote.
Yeah.
So it's a simple majority. So every different kind of artist has a say in it.
Yeah.
And
to be honest, if you're one of those rich people like that and want to pay a guy $100,000 to put a table of banana,
see me.
then come see an artist that busts their butt and do something awesome that you'll appreciate a lot more and pay them that crazy amount of money for it.
Please, love to meet you. Oh, definitely.
Pay for something that took more than 37 seconds to produce. But this is what so come walk in today. Walk in on your lunch hour or something. Come on. See some shopping, do some shopping, or if you're an artist, you're saying, "Hey, I'd like to meet some other artists and hang and do some stuff."
And we, the artists, are who work there, so we love that. We love good.
So get in on the circle
and meeting people, and
it's a foot in the door to meet the world, to meet the art community.
You got that right.
And then, by the way, sign up for this now, and then mark February 17th on your calendars. That'll be the big night of all of the
more details.
And we'll get Tammy in as we get close to the event.
Definitely.
So if you're not a painter but you want to support your favorite charities and come shop, we'll be in the invites. But if you would like to paint a painting for this event, what is like your drop dead? I'd like to have all my paintings in place by this time. I'm guessing it's probably the end of the year or maybe January sometime or
by
something.
the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
And that's going to be fast because we have holidays coming.
Okay. So, and it's going to get busy real quick.
Yeah,
when
then I'm going to need, for the promotional items, I'm going to have all the paintings together and take a big group shot.
Yeah.
So you're not going to who's is who's, but to give people an idea of what we have.
Mm-hmm.
But my
little bit of teasing.
My whole heart is in this event. I think it is going to be good for everybody.
I think it's going to be fun. I think it's the start of a big thing in the field. Like I feel like we're starting our next chili cheese festival or something like that right now. You know what I mean?
And so please don't be shy. Get involved. Call me. Ask me questions. Participate. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking so forward to it. And I appreciate Mike for letting me come and talk about it.
Well, thank you. And thank you for thinking of me. And thank you for allowing me to paint and do a part of this. This is stuff I love. And anytime. And thank you for because let's face it, you're doing your thing and you're doing well there. And to be honest, you don't have to do this. You're doing your thing. This is you doing something to say, you know what? I love this place. I want it to be the best place. And this is you doing your part, like all these little coaches and volunteer parents that are scout leaders and church leaders. This is you doing your thing through your platform. and we're so thankful that you want to use it to make this community a better place. That's a
I
good
love
thing.
Roswell. I love the people, and it can only get better from here.
And hopefully we just solved a few Christmas shopping dilemmas for some folks,
Hint,
too,
hint.
while we're doing
Yes.
it. Because we all know we got that one person who's like, they just buy it themselves, and I never know what to get them.
Exactly. Now you know.
Artwork, you can do it.
Yes,
So,
you can do it.
did we get it all, Tammy?
I
Anything
think
we missed?
so. Just please contact me. Find
Please
me.
reach
Find
out.
me.
If I can paint, you can paint.
Amen. If the mayor can paint, anybody
There
can
you
paint.
go. If they trust us with brushes.
That's right.
Thank you, Tammy, as
Thank you
always.
so much.
We'll
I
see you
appreciate
next
it.
time.
Okay.
Anytime. All right, it is 8:58. I better shut my hole and do a quick break before we get to news. Don't go away.
Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
They will know the shells from our Air Force.
And Israeli warplanes did strike targets across Gaza overnight. Israel says it has stepped up airstrikes in order to reduce the risk to its ground forces once the offensive is launched. More than 1,400 people in Israel have been killed, mostly civilians who were massacred during the initial Hamas attack. Hamas says more than 5,000 people have died in Gaza. Chevron is buying Hess, $53 billion deal as oil prices surge. And this is not even the biggest acquisition in the energy sector this month.
The Chevron Hess deal comes less than 2 weeks after ExxonMobil said it would acquire Pioneer Natural Resources for about $60 billion. Crude prices are up 9% this year and have been hovering around $90 per barrel for about 2 months. Chevron says the acquisition of Hess adds a major oil field in Guyana as well as shale fields in North Dakota. Chevron is paying for Hess with stock. The deal still needs approval by Hess shareholders. I'm Julie Walker.
No end yet to the impasse over the House Speaker's job, with Republicans unable so far to agree on a permanent successor to ousted Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The UAW once again escalating its strikes against Detroit's 3 automakers, this time adding a factory that manufactures Ram pickup trucks for Stellantis. On Wall Street, the Dow down 27 points, NASDAQ is up 24. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A tax watchdog says loopholes have compromised a deal to weed out tax havens and force multinationals to pay a minimum tax.
The landmark agreement by more than 140 countries and territories and brokered by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development set a minimum global corporate tax of 15%. The idea was to stop multinational corporations from shifting earnings to low or no tax havens, such as Bermuda and the Cayman Islands. The EU Tax Observatory says in a report that the agreement was expected to raise an amount equal to nearly 10% of global corporate tax revenue, but the plan has weakened and would generate less than 5% of corporate tax revenue. Donna Warder, Washington.
The U.S. renewing a warning that it will defend the Philippines in the event of an armed attack by any party, including China. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Biden administration designating 31 tech hubs in an effort to expand investment and innovation outside of traditional centers.
Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo, who joins President Biden at today's announcement, told reporters she has never seen as much interest in any initiative as this one. Today, the White House revealed 21 regions selected out of over 400 that applied to share $500 million in grants to spur tech innovation and bring jobs to areas beyond current tech centers like San Francisco and Austin. The recipients range from Montana to Puerto Rico, from Nevada to Wisconsin. The funding came from a $10 billion authorization in last year's CHIPS and Science Act to stimulate investment in new technologies like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and biotech. Jennifer King, Washington.
A rail disaster in Bangladesh. A cargo train hit a passenger train outside the capital city of Dhaka, leaving at least 15 people dead, scores injured. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracing Piernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. After my weekend, I decided I'm going to quit radio and
go to carpentry.
Go to carpentry the rest of my life.
Bad boy.
You know, I think it's my path.
It does look very peaceful and calming when you see him run that sander from one side of the wood to the other.
It does.
It always looks super, just like cathartic. You know?
It does, and then until I step behind there, and then it looks like a hot mess. I was like, I had 10 fingers when I started this project. I really did, and, you know. It makes it look so therapeutic when they do it,
right.
And I'm sitting there on the floor throwing screws across the room.
Yeah. You're just lovingly turning a screwdriver. You're in tears in the fetal position going, I hate this. I hate it.
It won't tighten. It just keeps spinning.
I think I stripped it.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
It's sad those moments that you come to realize that you've become your father. I used to mess with my dad because like when he would get like really stressed out or strenuous, sweat would drip from his nose. And that happened to me like a week and a half ago. I was doing something really strenuous and I just saw sweat drip from my nose. I'm like, oh no, I have become him.
The time has come.
I am become Steve.
Yeah. Oh, I know. There was I've told many a time of the projects my dad did, and he was I've told, for instance, I know I've told this story. It's been years, but I've told it. My dad, someone told him to use a gallon milk jug to change your oil.
Mm-hmm.
It was back in the day before, they said don't pour oil, in your trash. And, this was back in the day when people did shadiness, and now they tell you not to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
So Dad, the dad gets the milk jug, and then he cuts the top off the milk jug. And he goes, that'll catch the oil. I said, Dad? And I'm sitting there. I said, I suck at math. You've seen my report cards. However, I know this particular vehicle holds 5 quarts of oil.
That's a lot of gas, more than a gallon.
There's 5 quarts of oil in this particular vehicle. A gallon is 4 quarts. You just got the top off, so it's going to be about 3 quarts, maybe 3.5. I'm not a math wizard. You ain't getting 5 quarts of oil in that 3.5 quart container you got right there. Oh, it'll be fine. Gary, his buddy told him, it'll be fine. I said, okay, Dad. So I sat on a tree stump that sat next to our driveway, which was a whole other project from years earlier. But we almost knocked the house down with that tree. But anyway. So I just sat on said stump. He's under there doing his thing. Next thing you know, Mike, get me something quick. So I find him a bucket and put it in there. He gets out from under the car, and his whole arm is black from oil. His face is covered in oil. There's oil all over the driveway. His 3.5 gallon thing of milk is filled to the brim with oil. Yeah. Needless to say, I had to put like 6 wheelbarrows full of dirt on our driveway just to get all that oil sucked up.
Get the kitty litter.
But it was one of those deals where like, Dad, I told you.
But nobody's going to listen to their kids when it comes to common sense or logic.
Especially when he was poor in math. But when the guy's bad math telling you shouldn't do it, maybe you should listen to that guy.
This whole show has been a ringing endorsement for get help when you need it. Don't do it yourself.
DIY Monday, everybody.
In fact, anybody good at making Halloween costumes? I'm going to holla at your boy.
There you go. Any? Would it need seamstress work or more construction?
I haven't even thought that far ahead. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to, I could just top.
The tools you need are fabric or glue. What are we talking here?
I figured glue, but I'm not really sure.
Like you need nails and rivets and stuff?
I need to go to Hobby Lobby and see what equipment I need before I start planning this out.
Like the costume is from some obscure show your daughter likes on the internet, right?
On YouTube, yeah.
Okay. So they just don't have this sitting on shelves at a store anymore.
No, it's not like, hey, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog or anything.
Like, can you take things from the Halloween store to combine it for this project?
I feel like I can. Like, I saw yesterday, or Saturday when I was at the event, I saw a couple of costumes that were, like, oversized, and, like, they were looking through, like, basically the chest of the costume.
Yes.
Inflatable.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing they were looking through was that black mesh.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I need is just a whole sheet of that black mesh that's still see-through.
Okay.
That she could, hide behind, essentially.
That reminds me of a costume I had in, I'm going to say 5th grade.
Okay.
Maybe it was 4th. I think it was 5th. Because it was still when I did the elementary school costume parade where they walked you around the parking lot in your costume. I don't know if they do that anymore. They did back then. And there was a company that was putting out these, and it was, again, this is kind of when we were transitioning from the plastic mask with the rubber band.
Yep.
And the hole to more.
That always smelled like the weirdest kind of plastic.
This was one of these transitions from those to these more cooler costumes. This one was basically a cape thing, plastic jobber you wore on your whole body.
Oh, wow.
And you could see through the chest part. And then you put this big balloon thing on your head that was like a jack-o'-lantern or something creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically it turned you into, well, I was a kid, so probably a 6-foot tall thing, but so I looked through the it was pretty cheesy actually when it's all said and done. But basically it was a garbage bag cape with a blow up inflatable guy that you stuck on your head,
right?
And then you hid in the garbage bag cape while the pumpkin head or whatever was on top there. And that was but your costume reminds me of the early generations of those.
Of that. Now I'm just like, oh, how do I pull this off?
So maybe your source material might be Glad.
No, maybe. But I also need to be able to
Or
I need to see through it, or else I'm just going to be like,
hefty.
I'm going to be Helen Kellering her around the.
Yeah, maybe the Hefty, because it's a little bit more durable.
Yeah.
You know, because what's his name punches and stuff. And it's stronger. So maybe that.
Oh, okay.
Go with the Hefty as for your cape or whatever.
Mhm.
And then the mesh.
Yeah. Yeah, that might work.
I went one year as a cardboard box that I think had a TV or something in it. And this was back for flat TV, so it was a big square one.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure I made it my own very, very ghetto version of a robot with the TV box. My costume made it about the cubicle or the cul-de-sac I lived in, and then it destroyed right there by the time I got out of it. So the rest of the night, I just had some crap on my face and a pillow sack in my hand, and I was.
But hey, effective.
And it was trick or treating. So we have another full hour for you here, keeping the art going. Artist Greg Birch going to join us this hour. He's got a couple of events and couple things going on with some of his work. He also will be working with Tammy on her community event here as well too. So we'll probably touch a little bit on that. But he's got a bunch of other things he's got going on too. In the meantime, so we'll get all that from Greg here in just a few. He didn't bring a painting, right?
He did.
Oh, a gift?
Just to show it off.
Good. Just to show off.
Yeah.
He's already given us too many gifts.
We have plenty.
No more gifts. He's ahead of the game on gifts. He's given us so many gifts. So, which I'm thankful for.
Absolutely. I feel like we need to open up a gallery.
I feel like I'm stealing from his table.
Right? The Greg Birch Gallery. Now live, 106.5.
It's like, I appreciate it, but you got to eat, man. Don't keep giving me work away. But anyway, Greg's going to join us here in just a few. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's get her started. Here for your listening pleasure is your weather. Could be sunny. I see sunshine. I see rain. I see all of that today. There you go.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look good today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the afternoon high. Should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, our low dropping to about 60 and maybe an isolated shower. And then we get some changes on Tuesday with a low pressure system moving across the southwestern states. Showers and a few thunderstorms will be possible. Our high going up to about 80. Cooler with a few showers Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees. Yeah, I'm good at certain things in this life. Putting things together is not one of those things. 62 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 84%. Winds currently out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Nice today. Sunny. High of 84. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Expect an overnight low of 56 degrees. Winds a little breezy out of the south 15 to 20 early. They will drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. We do have a slight... They were giving us better chances for rain last week during Tuesday and Wednesday. They've kind of backed off on some of those percentages, but they exist nonetheless. 20% chance at some showers and thunderstorms for your Tuesday afternoon. Could see some patchy fog early when you wake up tomorrow morning. Otherwise, sunny for the day with a high of 79 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. 30% chance at showers for Thursday night, mainly after 7 p.m., mostly cloudy, overnight low of 56 with south winds 5 to 10. 30% chance at some showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday as well, early mostly, but slight chance. They say like before 7, then shower chances after that, so early mostly looks like. Partly cloudy with a high of 77. Wednesday night, a 20% chance for some showers with an overnight low of 52. And then sunny and 82 on Thursday, sunny and 82 on Friday, mostly sunny and 82 on Saturday, and sunny and 75 on Sunday. So a little bit of rain chances there. Hopefully we get some moisture tomorrow and Wednesday, and then back to just pleasant weather, looks like. All right, it is 9:17. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute break, and then Greg Birch, local artist, is going to join us here and talk about a bevy of things he's got coming up here and all. He's always got like 6 or 7 irons in the fire, so we'll talk about some of those next. Don't go away.
Of all the flowers in the world, pansies get a bad rap. Hi, this is Jim Gill with Roswell Seed Company. The name pansies sound delicate and weak, but in reality, pansies are bold and beautiful. When the frost has killed all the other flowers, pansies start blooming and they'll bloom all winter long, which is why you should come see us at Roswell Seed. We have a greenhouse full of colorful pansies ready to brighten up the coldest winter day. So come get your pansies, and remember, if someone calls you a pansy, take it as a compliment.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating two companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and back in studio with us. Is this your third or fourth visit? I don't remember. It's been he's got quite a few visits under his belt now. Local artist, Greg Birch. Good morning, Greg. Welcome back.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
It looks like you've been busy. Now, if you follow Greg on Facebook, which I highly recommend you do, go shoot him a friend's request. I'm going to say, if you're not promoting a new painting daily, it's every other day or almost daily. You've either got a project you just finished or one you're in the middle of. It's like I'm guessing you probably don't have just one project at a time. You probably have 3 or 4, and whenever the mood kind of, I'm going to work on this one today, or I'm going to work on this one.
I've usually got more than that.
Okay.
Like I said, I've still got the Metallica thing going.
Still working on some of that stuff?
Man, dude.
Are they reaching out to you still and everything?
Well, yeah, we're talking.
That's so cool.
But, man, I tell you what, that dealing with the brand, man, anybody wants to try that, good luck to you.
I bet it takes the fun out of it because it's a business. And yeah, you have fun painting and all that, but when they put deadlines and they put details that
you got to give up the rights.
And because I'm sure it's all Metallica once.
Yep.
But I would even guess they might even be a little picky on what you put in it. Like they'll say, I want a theme this way, but they may tell you certain details and things. It's got to be in here, otherwise it doesn't qualify as what we do.
Yeah.
And so you are, and as an artist, where really you when you paint, I'm sure it's like, it's my rules, it's my world.
Let me go.
I'm not constrained by someone else's opinion.
Mm-mm.
And when it gets to the business like this, you lose a little bit of your own creative juices there because you have to abide by what the person paying for the project wants you to do.
Well, the big thing is that, like I said, they pretty much will let you go, okay? Because they love that. The way that I've done that metal look.
Sure.
Well, with that.
And like I told you, the first time I saw it, I said, it could easily vibe right into exactly the artist's work and the type of stuff you see Metallica do. It lines up perfectly with their image and what they do, you know.
And so, like, the lawyers going back and forth and then telling me, okay, that is sick. That's awesome. Okay. Everything with it is a go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then it's like all this other little stuff that is, okay, well, this is the brand. And like I said, these graphic designers, man, it's a whole different world out there.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's the business side of the
That's
creative.
why I'm letting them deal with it.
Yeah.
Then you just tell me when to paint.
Well, and then as an artist, that's what you love. You weren't getting into this so you can make other people's happy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not why you did it, because you love to paint, you love to create, and you want to present what's in your head. Maybe someone will like it.
Yeah. And I'm wanting other people. And there's lots of people on Facebook.
And when you get to the other side, it turns into a dance monkey situation.
Oh,
and as a guy who works in what I work with, I know exactly what you're talking about, because I get like what you get, like, hey, can you make me a painting? But I want it to be this with a leopard and he's green and he shoots flames out of his tail, you know, whatever they conjure up for you to make. You know, I get that, because Sean and I and people work in a world where especially if we do funny stuff sometimes. Right. I don't know how many times people walk up to us like, hey, say something funny. And it's like, yeah, let me just crank out something funny real quick for you. You know,
like I'm work.
Yeah, like I'm a machine. You put a quarter in, and I belt out a song for you. And when you get into the world of creative, sometimes people treat you like that.
Yeah.
And as an artist, I know, especially when you're painting and your stuff, and it's like, look, you like my paintings for a reason. Let me do my deal.
Exactly.
And trust me, you know, I don't tell you how to make a song. I don't tell you how, you know, what's awesome. Let me do my creative stuff and just be thankful that it's what's going to turn out.
And then I just want the public to feel it.
Yeah.
You know, that it inspires. And like I said, on Facebook, there's lots of people. I get lots of stories, you know, and some of them are pretty horrific, you know, but there's a trust, there's a bond, and I don't say anything to anybody about them because they're just personal stories. But then there's people that's just inspired that's picking up paintbrushes out there. And I'm like, okay, now this is why I'm doing it.
Right.
You know, who knows what's out there?
Well, and kind of like what I was talking with Tammy last hour when we were talking about her event here, which Greg is also a part of. We'll get into that here in a little bit. I'm hoping that event also inspires people to see painting and get people because she's asking people that, like myself, that have never picked up a paintbrush before in your life or done it for money. You know,
I believe you, man. You can do it. You can do it.
And I'm hoping people are going to be like, this is great. I loved doing this. I want to do more of this. Not to be Greg Birch, local artist, but to be a guy that when I'm done stressed for the day and I'm looking for a place to an outlet, I can go downstairs or I can go into my room and get on the canvas and the paintbrush
and crank up the music
and go crazy. You know, I'm hoping some people look at that as their own mental health outlet, their place to express what is on their brain and what's in their heart.
Yes.
And that's what I'm hoping we raise a bunch of money for charities and everything else. But I also help, even if it's just 2 or 3 people or one.
Well,
then to me, I'm like, you know what? It's great because now someone just found some tools to navigate their own life through art, and that's a victory.
And the people right now, the response, because I post everywhere.
Sure.
You know, from here to London to
Which
China.
is great because it's I think that inspires because I think people see it and they see you and they see Greg and they're like, wow, Greg's got such an amazing talent and ability.
Well, thank you.
I know I can't do what Greg does, but I sure would love to just
they can.
get turned loose on that, you know?
Sure they can.
You know, it's I don't know where my brain will take me there, but you don't know until you do and what inspires you. And that's just it for you. I mean, if someone said to you, what are you going to paint a month from now? You're like, I don't know. I mean, whatever kind of, I'll tell you I'll be painting something though. And it's just life inspires art. It's just what happens, Same with songwriting.
And that's to me, life is art. I mean, if you look at everything, the way that you will talk to your wife, that's an art.
Right.
And I usually post all that kind of stuff, but to me, it's true.
Sure.
The clothes that you wear. And yes, there's days that, man, I want to be raggedy. nothing.
Right.
You know, there's just nothing there. I don't have the inspiration.
It's like, look, I just want to be me and not in a world where I'm trying to impress or give an impression of me one way or another towards another person.
But the feedback that I'm getting on this painting that I'm donating, there's a lot of people from Texas that want to come to it. I've got a couple of people out of Arizona. I've got one people that live in Hawaii that's flown over, and just the woman wanted to meet me, and she got that, and she thought that was just the world's deal. And that's the stuff that means a lot to me right there, that I can take.
And that's why you do this, I think.
Yes.
I think at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you do it because you love it and it feeds your soul. But I think the day that you are getting tired or getting a little bit just long, just all right, my wit's end, I'm at that point.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes and says, "You've inspired me this way," or every time I see this painting, it reminds me of a time in my life where I did this. And then you're like, your soul just got fed, and you're like, all right,
that's
now I'm
worth
inspired.
More than money.
Now I'm inspired to do the next thing because when on the days when I feel like I'm not making headway, then someone comes out of the blue and says something like that, and that's why art is so. You don't get the reward right away all the time.
Right.
It's just whatever moment a person's life comes across the thing you did and how it impacts them. And that's the gift that keeps on giving. Like I'm sure you have a few paintings that sit in a gallery somewhere that probably been there for years, and you maybe even forgot about them a little bit. And next thing you know, someone comes out, I just saw so and so at so and so, and it reminds me of when I was a kid and I did this. And then you get that letter or get that note in the mail, and you're like, how cool is that? I done forgot I did that painting, and now someone just last week. It had a feeling away about it, and then shared it with me, and I love.
And that was like whenever I'd done this Zozobra.
Yeah,
I'd done that twice, and there's a story there about the boy that came up that he was inspired. He lost both of his folks.
Wow.
And he was at the boys' home, and he was living with his grandmother, and he was starting to get into a bunch of trouble and stuff like that. And this is when I had barely started getting back into painting and throwing them out there. And I stay in touch with this young man, even to this day. And he was a lot like you, never picked up a paintbrush, never knew how to draw.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, what do you like? And within 3 words, it was football with him. And I said, then draw it.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, draw a helmet, draw a football. It doesn't matter. If you can draw a shape, it's what's inside the shape that's going to define what the piece is going to be.
Absolutely.
And so he wants me to help him, and I help him every now and again over Facebook. And, Facebook is different than being in person.
Sure.
You can only do so much on
Absolutely.
Facebook.
There is some.
And I got to tell you now, I mean, there's a downside to this, too. There was a guy from Silver City, and he was a stalker and a half, and because he didn't feel like I was showing him love, he wanted to cut my frapping head off and told me as much.
Yeah, there is.
So you got to say what's what.
Well, sure, and that's in any world you live in. When someone, especially if someone connects with your art in a certain way, and you have to be careful of that crazy in every world.
And I was like, sir, this is just art, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're not really you because you're not showing any kind of love. What do you want me to do, man?
Right. Well, love is the love. I mean. But that's the part he doesn't get. It's art. It's back to what I was talking with Tammy. There's rules and things, but when it comes to art, you can follow the rules or not follow the rules. That's the rules.
Right.
Sure. If you want to make this a structured thing, and I got to say, all right, I'm doing impressionism painting, therefore I must do X, X, and X to qualify as that. Okay. That's what we're going to do. But you may be like, well, I started doing that, but then I wanted to get a little goofy here and go, and you can do that in art. And that's where someone who's wants, and I imagine this guy here is probably one of those guys that he likes to do things step by step by step. And if you don't do that way, then he doesn't feel fulfilled.
Right.
And art, unfortunately, isn't bound by those rules.
No.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Right.
And that's the beauty of art is you can it's like I said with Tammy. You can learn all the math equations and everything. That just gives you the rules of what physically can be done and can't done.
True.
Now you could take those rules and make whatever you want. And art's kind of that, but then there's the other layer of, well, yeah, all those rules we told you can also break them if it meets the vision you're trying to create.
And see what I'm doing with my art. I mean, the standard artist ain't, of course, doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And because at the end here, really what I would like to do, I mean, the more people that I can meet, because I want to start a thing here in Roswell and especially reach out to some of our youth.
Yeah.
And give them a wall that they can just tag. We can repaint it.
Sure.
Tag it. Because one of the best guys that whenever I was in art school, he came from Detroit. And he taught me everything about the tagging part.
Sure.
And what each line and everything like that represented. But he could not do an oil painting to save his life. So he was going to fail most of our classes.
But if you give him a can, he could
give him a
make
can
art.
and he can throw it out there. And
Interesting.
so I taught him how to do this. And of course, we remain friends to this day.
That's awesome.
But
and to be honest, especially I think, and I'm going to say 90s is probably where it started, was that whole form of art, the graffiti art, if you will, street art. That has turned, to be honest, in certain circles, those folks are the billionaires in art right now.
I'm telling you.
Those are the big millionaires in art right now.
All people's got to do is look at Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, because they basically gave them an open canvas on a bunch of street art down there.
Yeah.
And so they're just tearing it up.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff, I'm sorry, it's sick.
It's beautiful what they do, and it's and it's so great that and it all starts because they probably were a kid in an alley goofing around.
Yep.
And they found their passion, and to me that is awesome. We turn and we turn it into the casino, and maybe they continue with their street platform, streets and buildings and things. Awesome. But some of them say, you know what, I am going to put it to canvas, or I'm going to do it for specific buildings and places. Much like you see here in our local place. We have I'm not sure if it's one man or several, but we have, if you see some of the art downtown here, those are mural artists. These are the street artists. These are the folks, they probably started in the alley painting symbols on walls in the alley.
People was running off.
Yeah.
And don't get it wrong. I mean, there's some that's out there that, okay, we know what that street art is.
Absolutely, yeah. We know the gang references and territorial, but to be honest, some of them started in that circle.
True.
And someone said, you are very talented. You're wasting your talent on painting of claiming territory in an alley.
Yeah.
Let's go beautify a place.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and that's
what I'd like
see.
to do here at the end of this.
And I think that's the cool part here is and maybe that's where you reach out to organizations like Boys and Girls Club or Big Brothers Big Sisters and say, hey, let's do some of that kind of stuff. But that's just where art can bring you, and this is where art goes, and what Tammy's doing and what you're doing and supporting is really fostering and cementing the real art district that this community is, that has been underground for so long and is starting to...
It needs to come back.
It's starting to get under or out from the underground, which is awesome.
Yes.
But there's still a strong underground.
Oh, big time.
And it's not just painting. It's all forms of art, including performing art, to painting, to working with your hands and metalwork and ceramics and woodwork and all of that. Again, go to the Main Street Artist Studio and you'll get a nice eclectic kind of view of all the different types of art that's being practiced and done here in your backyard. It's really great too.
Now, to start with,
let's talk about some of your things.
Man, if anybody can get up to Colorado Springs, I posted it on Facebook. Man, I am truly humbled.
Nice.
I'm proud, but I'm humbled.
Cool.
My painting, I had posted it. They started it out in the new edition, and for the love of Western, I believe, or something like that is what they had titled theirs. Okay. Anyway, I'm New Mexico, let's put it that way. We're hanging, and if you go to Colorado Springs at the Hall of Fame, there's the painting.
Yes.
And I am truly to put your name with Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud
of
that.
Well, you know what you're kind of doing, and what I like about this, and just to give you just an example. Of course, we had some city councilors go to Poland here, our sister city, about a month or so ago here, and I'm with the Historical Society, so we have, but they donated, the Hurd family has given the Historical Society permission to sell some of their prints as a fundraising event for them. And so, and for folks that don't know, the Hurd family, Peter Hurd is a very famous artist.
Slash actor.
Yes. But there was a man, one of the Polish dignitaries loved his work, and was the most exciting gift he got was the work, that the Peter Hurd work. And what it is because I think everyone that has heard the name New Mexico but has never set foot in New Mexico, their image of New Mexico is like Peter Hurd's work. That kind of, like, I think the world looks at New Mexico through the eyes of Peter Hurd.
Right.
And I feel like you're starting that next generation a little bit, where people are going, they're going to see your artwork at like the Hall of Fame or various galleries outside of the Southwest, and they're going to see, and that's going to be their image of New Mexico. Like I think you're kind of, you and other artists like you, through, I think, guys like Hurd, are becoming the window of New Mexico for the rest of the world.
Well, and I hope so. You know, I mean, because I was born and raised here in Roswell. I mean, I was, St. Mary's Hospital is where I was born. And, of course, that's down now. But, no, there's just the people, that I got to grow up with around here. Yeah, I mean, there's roots, and this is my roots right here in New Mexico, and that's what I try to paint.
Yeah,
so much, that southwestern feel that says that's down home.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's what I love about it. So when you come and you tell me that these are what's going on and these things, I feel like it's setting that table. So so
the next thing
back is when you're gone, there's going to be those people that are saying, wow, that's New Mexico. And so when they say, what do you think of New Mexico? It's like, I saw this painting, and it's going to be Greg Birch, and they're going to think that's quintessential New Mexico when I look at this painting. And so I think you might be inspiring that another generation of people to what they think New Mexico is, that have never been here or been a part of it.
And that's what I'm hoping, man, because I'm drawing some pretty good crowds for certain things.
Good deal.
But anyway, I'm starting the...
Yeah, because you got so much going on. I keep interrupting him.
No problem.
I want to brag on him, but he's got so much going on.
The USS Constitution. Man, I started that painting. And I reached out, and I did to Post 51. I wanted to donate it to him. But I think I'm going to do them a different one.
Okay.
This one here is a huge freaking canvas, dude.
It needs a bigger platform.
Boom.
Okay.
So, stupid me. Always got my hands in something. I reached out to the museum over there, and I'll be dadgum. They're really looking at it, and it looks
Which museum wants it?
The USS Constitution.
Oh, the Constitution Museum. Oh, okay. Their official museum for the USS Constitution. The museum. Okay.
The museum.
I'm like, one of our museums? Which museum?
No,
the museum. Okay.
This is in Boston Harbor, man.
Oh, wow.
And
holy cow.
Talk about humbled.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and that's why this thing...
Like, this is the stuff that, like, long after Greg Birch is not on this earth, people are going to be seeing his stuff. Like Van Gogh, we were talking last hour. This is the kind of piece...
The only problem is Van Gogh was manic depressing.
Yes.
I'm manic happy. Okay.
But as far as, like, as I was telling Tammy, do you ever think Vincent Van Gogh would have thought that we're still talking about his name hundreds of years later?
Yeah.
I don't know if he would...
Him and de Gaulle was... I mean, there was a competition between them two. And, of course, you had Monet, everything like that. But you had a period of artists here that was so strong.
Yeah.
But each one of them was a stylistic portrayal.
Sure.
So you have to understand that Van Gogh really was... He was Bob Ross.
Gotcha.
Because Bob Ross, and that's whenever you're painting your piece... You have to remember that it's considered like a plein air, okay? Real loose. So the further you get away from it, the more detail you see. Because really with Van Gogh, most people don't know it. And sorry, I'm kind of art historian. Don't mean to get off subject.
This is your passion. This is why you love what you do.
But his eyesight was pretty bad.
Okay.
But he refused to wear glasses. Well, you have to remember the guy at the end of his life, it was all controversy how he died. Okay,
Yeah.
because he's out in his backyard and he's got a bullet in his gut. He said that there was 2 guys that came and was trying to steal his painting. Okay, come to find out, and even to this day, here's the conspiracy theory. He shot himself. You know,
well, he was dealing with a lot of mental health problems.
Big time.
And whatever he was doing made sense.
Manic depressing. That was the stage that he couldn't get out of. That was his walls. That's how come he's got one series that's called his blue paintings.
Gotcha.
Okay, and this is towards.
And so you can kind of almost see his life chronologically through his paintings if you know what you're looking for.
And that's from an artist that this is what we try to tell in paintings. There's always got to be a story. If there's not, and that's like these other people that are trying to help. If there's not a story that you're trying to convey, you don't lose it in the painting.
Gotcha. And
that's part of them paintings that I just tossed.
Sure. But I think you need those to get to that. You know what I mean? It's all, sure, it doesn't fit on a wall in the history, but without that painting, we would have never had that painting. You know what I mean? And that's.
And so the next thing that I've got going, the USS Constitution.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Where
this one is looking like it's going to be hanging over there as soon as I get it done. I'm letting paint dry right now. So to the public that follows me on Facebook.
And I just got this image because I'm a guy that loves those museums and take places like that. I don't know how many like Civil War museums, and I see a painting that someone did of the meeting between Lee and Jackson, or Grant and Lee, or whatever. And that painting's been hanging there, and I'm like, wow, and I feel like now this is going to be one of those kind of paintings.
And to tell you the truth, I got an email the other day from a lady that works at the Gettysburg Museum lands there. Mm-hmm. And of course they've got them, because that Civil War was more than just Gettysburg.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And anyway, she reached out and she was asking me if I'd like to partner up and maybe do a painting for Gettysburg.
Wow. I've actually been in that museum. I love that.
I've never been there.
And actually, it's not just that museum. Yes, it's got a lot of Civil War stuff, but it's a history museum. It's got World War I, II. It's not just Civil War. It is a full, to be honest, if you ever watched Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
The TV show Pawn Stars. I'm not sure if he's still on. I haven't watched in years, but if you watch especially some of the early seasons, he was one of the experts that would do, if there was a Civil War musket or anything Civil War related, the guy that runs the Gettysburg Museum would be his expert guy on, and occasionally he would come in with his own stuff.
Right.
That were like relics from the museum that didn't quite fit the museum, that he's like, hey, can I get something for this? I want to buy another piece for the museum before it.
And so she wants me to do a painting, but in my style.
Okay.
And so we're working out some details like that. And like I said, the vineyard, I've got that all in the works. I got all of the new artwork sent.
And you're hitting art in multiple circles. You're going in the history world. You're going in the rodeo world. You're kind of covering a lot of bases here.
It's what I told you. I truly believe that and in my heart, I've got a short shelf life to this. And I just feel like that I've got to, I got to get more going.
Strike while the iron's hot, so to speak.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But the next thing that I've got going is the New Mexico license plate. And on the 28th, I should know for sure on it. It's the aqueous.
Okay.
And in Spanish, that's irrigation ditch.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I taught
not very
you
exciting.
Spanish language.
Not the most exciting thing, but probably a beautiful
but it's
piece
going
of
to
art
go on it's going to go on a collector's edition license plate.
Oh, cool.
And if it gets accepted, I feel like that I hopefully represented Roswell in the southern tier down here.
Nice.
Especially our farming community.
I love these types of license plate too. So.
And I hope that it competed. That's, I hope that I've done something that like I said, can compete.
Sure.
And if so, people, y'all need to go out and get the collector's license plate.
Replace the black chili one.
That's right.
And that one got real popular real quick, so we'll replace with the Greg.
So I'm going to get 3 because I got bunches of stuff that, well, it's not on there.
Oh, it is. It's not on this screen. They're watching it. The connection between that and that computer aren't working. Everyone else sees it. We just don't.
Okay. But anyway, shoot, I already forgot where I was going. The license plate.
Yes.
Anyway, I've got a shadow box, and so I'm going to get 3 license plate if I win, which hopefully I represented Roswell and the southern tier here with our farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wins, then I'm going to get 3 license plate, and I know one of them's going in my shadow box to say that, we done it again.
That's
hopefully.
right.
But
that's so cool.
The 28th, hopefully. That could be a sad day, and it could be a happy day. We're
going to root for happy.
Competitions are competitions.
It is. And if you don't win, then so be it. We go on to the next thing and try again later. But yeah, cross fingers and hope and pray, and you never know, and maybe the gods will align and we get a winner. I don't know. Are they? How are they voting? Is it a popularity thing, or is it a committee that gets to select, or how does that work?
Basically this aqueous. It's all the water canals.
Okay.
That's throughout New Mexico.
Okay. Like, is there other submissions you're competing against?
Yeah. Any other artists that?
But I mean, is it like one theme that you're all, or is it a theme for everybody? Okay.
Yeah, it's basically one theme, whatever you can come up with.
Okay, I didn't know if we all had to do the same.
No.
We're doing a tag promoting this part of our culture, that it's got to be themed that way. I didn't know if it was like that.
But that's why I done what I done. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but anyway.
That one I missed. I haven't seen the license plate.
It's the Zia symbol.
Okay.
And then in between the Zia arms is water that looks like it's irrigating.
Oh, okay.
And so it's got corn, cotton, and the chili.
Oh, cool.
And I twisted it so that it represented the 4 corners of New Mexico.
Nice.
And then up at the top is, of course, one of the water locks where they release the water to irrigate.
How cool is that? So like, I'm just gee whiz curious. Is that something that just like you're in the shower and pops in your head, or sleeping, or you start like, I want to start this way, and then it changed all as you were doing?
No, you and Sean.
Yeah.
You and Sean, y'all messed that up for me because I wasn't even going to do it.
Okay.
Okay. And you're going to say this is crazy.
All right.
But here's my ideas.
Okay.
I'm not manic depressant. I'm manic happy.
Gotcha.
I'm sitting here listening to y'all.
Oh, we're the inspiration?
And what did y'all put on? Hall & Oates.
Ah.
And that day that you said it, okay.
It was the Hall & Oates hotline day. Yeah,
and
I remember that.
I've got to do this frapping thing. I have to do it.
I stumbled upon the Hall & Oates hotline, and it's a number you call, and 24/7 they play a Hall & Oates song, and there's like 4 different songs. I was like, this ain't real.
Thanks
and
to you two jerks, I got this deal, and I'm like, okay, I got to enter this, man.
Well, you're welcome.
So that's how it all started. And then I started playing all that frapping music, that crazy music that is just inspiring.
Proof that the world is a better place with Hall & Oates.
There you go. Right? So then Cindy Sloan Butts, I've been doing book covers for her. And this book just came out. And this is the Bears and the Boy of Berlin.
Okay. I love these local stories.
And this one here, these are 2 murders that was committed at the same time.
Okay.
It's a murder mystery book.
Okay. Is it a fiction or nonfiction?
It's fiction.
Okay, cool.
She's using one of her or policemen that she knows. He was not a policeman, but detective kind of guy.
Investigator type.
That's friends with hers and with her, literally.
Okay.
And he's solving the mystery.
Okay.
Between these 2.
I gotcha.
So
now, is this is this her first book?
No, man.
Okay.
This is like the 3rd one that I've done.
So is she like
second one that?
But
I've
I mean,
done
is this like a character in a series? Like she does this?
Yeah,
character?
we're doing a
gotcha. Okay,
a 3-book series.
I follow you because I'm a fan of Clive Cussler, and he uses Dirk Pitt as his like hero in a lot of his books.
Well,
and so
her next book, The Murder Mystery, is here in Roswell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So she's covering all of New Mexico.
She's pretty cool, man. The sweetest lady.
And I've seen some of the artwork you've done for some of the other books and things too. I'm not sure if it's the same artist, or same author.
She's got a book signing up in Albuquerque this coming weekend that I couldn't make.
Okay.
I wanted to get up there with her, but
can you get her work online right now
on Amazon?
Is that the best way to get it locally here if you want to get it
on Amazon?
Okay. And what's her name?
Cindy Sloan Butts.
Okay. So if you want to see some of her, she does a local fiction that's kind of set in a lot of New Mexico places.
Awesome lady.
So if you love mysteries and you love the whodunits and you love hearing local landmarks and things, then her books are going to be right in your wheelhouse.
But I got an event coming up this weekend, and we're just not. I wasn't going to be able to make it up there to it.
Well, you got a lot of irons and fires.
Yeah, and so it's signed right there, and I signed it, and this one's for you.
Oh, this is for me. Thank you.
That one's for
That
you.
is so awesome. Good. Now I got some reading here this weekend. I love reading these kind of stuff. Well, thank you. That's so awesome.
The bear, she had sent me an email, and the note that is left, which is on that first
page.
No, right here on the first cover.
Oh yeah, I got you.
The note that I put there, you can't read it.
No,
but
and I have horrible eyes. I really can't read.
She sent it to me, and she said that it's for this. The only connection with this that the detective had was to both murders.
So that note is the gateway to solving it.
It's signed Shash, which is SHASH, which in Navajo means bear.
Okay. Hence the bears and this boy part of the title.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, that's cool. I'm anxious to read that. I love these kind of books, and I love the fact that it's local. So thank you for that. I will read it, and folks, check it out. This one's actually called The Bears and the Boy of Berlin. It's by Cindy Sloan Butts, and she's authored several books. Yes. You can find them all on Amazon. Just look under Cindy Butts or Cindy Sloan Butts. You'll probably see all of her different works of that you can purchase. But this is her latest, The Bears and the Boy of Berlin. That's the latest book here. So.
And there again,
thank you.
I'm very thankful that she's letting me do the book covers for her.
Well, Cindy ever pops into Roswell and wants to come on the show?
She's been down.
Okay,
and I would like to
invite her on.
sometime.
Maybe you guys come on together and talk art and writing here together. That'd be fun. Maybe inspire some more artists and writers out there.
Yes,
to do
sir.
Their thing. It's like, hey, we're local people here too. Ain't no rules saying you can't start right here in New Mexico and do this kind of stuff.
Well, and I was going to reach out to her and see if she wouldn't mind coming on.
Well, I'd be happy to do that for this book, or if she's got another one in the works she wants to, whenever. But we only got about 5 minutes before they kick me off the radio, and we definitely got one more thing we want to get on here.
Okay, so for the love of community, or for love of community that Tammy Alvarez is doing.
If you missed our interview with Tammy Alvarez last hour, you can go back and check it out. But this is, she had mentioned some local real artists are doing some stuff too.
Thank you.
And Greg has made a beautiful submission here that it is so awesome. I'm still looking at and taking it in with the buffalo silhouette, with the Native American symbology on there, the turquoise.
This here's titled Peace Offering.
Okay.
And the winner the bidders from this is one of the top prize that we're trying to set up that the person will get. I'm going to sign it that night and date it and everything like that.
That is beautiful. It is a beautiful piece of work. And
everybody come out to this thing. And like I said, this you're fixing to take home, a Hall of Fame painter's painting, whoever wins it.
It's a beautiful
I'm not getting
piece.
anything out of this. I donated this.
You know what he's getting?
He's
getting the satisfaction that he's making a difference in our community. That's the part that makes it, I think, Greg happy at the end of the day. Hopefully someone spends a lot of money on this and it helps a charity in our community.
Yes, sir.
And it helps. And to be honest, I hope it inspires the next generation of painters, because long after guys like us, you are off this earth, there's people that need to pick up that mantle and keep it going. And I hope, and that's why I love what you're talking about. When they're sitting there looking at the USS Constitution and they happen to see your painting, or they walk into the Cowboy Hall of Fame there in Colorado and be like, wow, look at that. And they say, you know what? That's what I want to do. I want to create that. Or maybe it's that thing. Maybe someone becomes a rodeo guy because they saw your painting. Right. Or they join the Navy because of the sense of pride and things they saw from your painting in the USS Constitution. They said, well, I want to devote my life to service, and that painting inspired me to do that.
You know, and I went and had coffee with my mom the other day, and, you know, that was one thing I told her is that what is truly humbling to me is being there at the Hall of Fame. How many people get to see that I don't even know that painting?
Yeah.
And it's a representation of New Mexico.
Sure. And who knows? What if the next big name in rodeo come in as a little kid looking at your painting? And that was, you know,
Ain't that awesome?
They see the rodeos and they see that thing, and next thing you know, the next you know, just the next. I'm starting to come up with a name, and they all went blank right off. But the next big name in rodeo is right there, and it was all inspired because they were walking through the Hall of Fame, and they see the belt buckles, and they see your painting, and they said, "This is the life I want."
And I think that's a lot like with you and Sean doing the radio.
Yeah.
You know, y'all can only do it for so long. And
exactly.
Who's that next person that's out there that's listening that you guys?
Someone's gonna get tired of our nonsense and fire us at some point.
They could do that too. You win some, you lose some.
Exactly. So run it, and but I appreciate what what you do and everything you've done here. Please,
I'm trying to give back more. Really.
Now, if someone would like a Greg Birch piece of artwork, is it just reach out to you through Facebook or anything like that? And I don't know. I know at least one or two friends that you blessed already with some stuff, and every one of them they were like, "Oh, you know this Greg?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm familiar." And it's like, this is amazing. Like it is.
Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
And we appreciate.
I'm trying to get a place here in Roswell, but it's going to take time. I've got so much going on.
That's just it. It sounds like you don't have enough time to settle down on one thing here because you've got to take care of these other things. And one day you're like, all right, I got a moment to breathe. I'm going to focus on my studio or my place here. You know?
Right now it hurts to sit down. So I just got to try to keep going.
So you just keep standing and keep on running.
Trying.
Well, thank you, Greg.
And
God bless
you
and your family, and thank you for your love and passion for this community and your desire and ability to share that.
And people here in Roswell, if y'all got an event and y'all would like me to donate something to it, I'd be more than willing to do it there too.
Absolutely. Greg
Anytime.
At the end of the day, Greg's passion is his painting, but his bigger passion is his community. And he wants to, create that happiness, that inspiration. Who knows what his artwork brings, but whatever it brings, he hopes he brings inspiration and the next generation or whoever, them inspired to do whatever their passion is.
Well, and it's tough times and people need that money, and that's why I'm trying to help Tammy.
Sure.
Yeah, put it out there, and that gallery's got to stay open too.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day,
come support those artists.
Yes.
Come see the work that they do. And the beauty of it is like if the holidays around the corner, if you're wanting specific things or things like that, there's a whole building full of artists there that would love to do that. Greg is another one of those artists who would love to help you do that, through his form of painting. He's not going to build you a house, but he'll paint you a picture.
Exactly.
I'll tell you a story.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Greg.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being involved, and thank you for these gifts. That's why I was going to don't give me more gifts. Give me so many gifts. I'm not deserving of all these
gifts.
Well,
now I'm giving you books.
Thank you for the book. Well, this I'm going to reading, and please, if Cindy's next time she's in town, reach out. Love to have her come on, and we could talk books, talk whatever she's got next, and
awesome.
I love
let
to
her
support
know.
that kind of stuff.
I'll let her know.
Good deal. Well, thank you, Greg. And
thank you.
We'll see you next time.
All right, sir.
All right, it is 10:01, or officially overtime now, but I haven't cut into claim buck, so I'm okay. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Town Hall News in progress. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
President Sean Fain reported progress in talks with GM.